We're going to be taking you into the land of Dawn. Now, I couldn't have said it better myself. Vitality versus Team Falcons Vega. This is the grudge match of MWI right here. This is the grudge match of the decade between women's teams. And it's always been one-sided to Vitality. But this time, there's a lot of people with feelings in their heart that Vega might be able to pull it off. The drafts do not disappoint. We got some spice in there. We got some interesting plays. For me personally, Team Falcons Vega, they have the smartest. They can play for some early game aggression, especially at the level 4 spike with the Lu Yi, with the chip. They can get some movement down. But Team Vitality have a nice little pocket strat going on here. A lot of possibilities as well.
It's an age-old matchup. Fumieko going to be caught in the onward and the Earthshatter. Good jump back as Fumieko flickers to safety. Vivian going to be caught in the midst of it all. Violet doing some damage together with Tal. Crash course with the stun. Vivian still able to dash out to safety. But they will be able to utilize the advantage here. Just invading a bit, getting a little bit of that lead that they need to look for that snowball.
Most definitely. You know, we talked about mid. Something I want to focus on a little bit and ask you about. This gold lane matchup, Shell versus Jinsha. We have not seen the Ixia. I think, was this a debut pick for it? I'm pretty sure for MWI.
We saw Shanoa
played it and got the Savage on it. So how do we feel? I like the poke. I like to be able to at least deal with Shell in the laning phase. But as the game goes on, you know, the carry might start to outscale a little bit.
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel, yes. I mean, if you can get some of these members locked down damage-wise, especially single target, Shell will be able to win that out. But Ixia, in this lane alone, Ixia is always a lane bully. Even up against lane bullies, she's the one to bully the lane bully. She is the
bully.
She is the boogeyman to other boogeymen, right?
Okay.
In the gold lane. And it's really all because of the range and that crazy sustain that you get after every third hit. And you can utilize your abilities too to get that passive. So Carrie, more of a non-laner at this point. She's really just trying to survive the lane, get to the power spikes, and then help out later by shredding a few of these frontliners. Seems now Vivian going to be caught in the yin-yang reaction, still getting the shove down. Purify going to be used up by Tal. She pops in the crash course. Fumieko getting level 4. Violet already level 4. Covering over the turtle, but take a look at those resources. Very low health bars on Team Falcons Vega.
Yeah, and I see Fumieko sitting with that penalty zone ready to go. It's got that green dot, and everyone's at about half health. And that's exactly what Vival wants. It's like, get the penalty zone in. I come in with the light pounces, but wait, Echo in a little bit of trouble.
Earthshatter together with the crash course, really just trying to zone Fumieko away and deplete her of some of the resources that you would usually get in the XP. Another crash course by Tal. Fumieko trying to punish this penalty zone, locking 2 members down. The troll kick is placed down, but it's all in the midst of it. Oh, good implosion, catching them. Sydney able to use a yin-yang overturn. Vival just executing them in the back. Now, in that notorious gun form on the Roger. Just trying to poke a little bit. Violet and Funi forced back 2-0 start.
I like the respect there from Team Vitality. They don't overcommit onto the turtle. They get their 2 kills. But they also know that Funi's still a threat. One big duality proc and things could look dangerous. Team Falcons Vega approached that fight right. I think the goal is to keep Fumieko away because, as I said, a bad penalty zone could be game-changing. Look at the fans for Team Falcons Vega out there. They seem to always show up for the Falcons. Doesn't matter what game you're playing, doesn't matter what you're doing, they show up for the org. And right now, they got some support in the building.
Shout out to, what do we call them, the Falcons? The Falcons in the building.
The nest.
The nest.
Welcome to the nest, baby.
Welcome to the bird's nest, the Falcons nest. Good trades going on now. Team Vitality utilizing pressure that they've already built up. Bio Melee taking 2 shots of the turret in the bottom side of the map. And it seems they won't be able to get anything off of that. Vitality pick up all of the advantages around the map.
I'm wondering if they should have maybe gone for the gold plating there. They decide to back off, though, get back, play the whole map. Turtle's going to be up in about 96 seconds, so let's take a look at the items real quick. Like I said, I really want to focus on gold lanes here. I think it's going to be huge for both of these teams. 2.7, 3K, nothing major, both taking a similar route. We lock in the Corrosion Scythe. Down in the mid side, Cine up against Funi as well. Nothing too major, nothing too different about these builds at all. Roger holding, though, about a 500 gold lead over Meylane right now, and Meylane needs to find a point where she's going to start scaling. Windtalker just gets locked in, so we're going to start seeing a little bit of a pickup of pace from Vival here.
I love the build coming in from from Vival here on the Roger.
Different than usual, right?
Yeah.
No, not War Axe.
Not
A lot of time when we
Sky
see the jungle, we see the War Axe first. This time they go for the Wind Talker.
Exactly. Usually War Axe, Sky Piercer, those are the two items you want to go for, but at this point, she's just playing for the mobility. She knows that Team Falcons Vega have a lot of lockdown, and the mobility will definitely help her getting out of these crazy situations. Shell pops into ultimate. Melee gets zoned away just because of that. Dashing forward, talking to be caught in the Yin-Yang overturn, forced to use the Purify. And just like that, again, Vitality are reacting to the moves of Falcons Vega, but they're winning out in these maneuvers around the map.
Yeah, they continue. It seems like Team Falcons Vega, after taking that those 2 deaths earlier, they know the gold lead's a little out of hands. They don't want to really have a big fight right now, especially with Vivian holding the front side. You have someone that can really kind of change the course of a battle instantly, and they don't really have some. Yes, they have the crash course.
Whoa.
That isn't going to be game-changing, but hold up on top. Fumi Echo still just gets away.
Oh, and Fumi Echo wants to fight, goes in against 3 members. Gets caught in the Earth Shadow and the onward here. There's a lot of damage coming down, penalty zone. Fumi Echo against the world.
Stop.
One more Wait City comes in with the Yin-Yang overturn. And it is going to be a win for Team Vitality. Not only do they get a win up top, they get a turret down below.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
In the words of Chell, they're just better.
They're just better right now. It's game 1 and Team Vitality showing dominance, 4-1, 2.5K gold lead. I mean, Team Falcons Vega tried to make the play. They're the one who initiated that, man. They wanted to fight. They brought out the gloves first. They called out Fumi Echo on her own turf and fall short for it. They lose, what, 3 there? 2 there?
Yeah, they lose technically
2.
3 with a turret, right? Yeah, 2 members and a turret.
At this point, they need everything. Turret counts as a hero.
Absolutely. And they only get Terizla, and that's a trade that Vitality are definitely very, very happy about. And this is why we were having conversations behind the scenes, while the analysts were doing their thing about this matchup. And this is an age-old matchup. One that only, in 32 meetings, Falcons Vega have only been able to win once. Fumi Echo able to clear out the way. Chinchao not going to go for the turret just yet. Fumi finally decimated in the bottom lane by the Martis. But Chinchao's the one picks up the kill. And finally, they get something on the board. But it's also something traded back.
Yeah, now as the gold starts to grow in change, Vival goes for the Sea Halberd first. A very different build. And I think this could be due to how ahead they are. I don't need the War Axe. I don't need sustainability because I ain't going to die. I don't got to worry about that. We're going damage. We're going pen. We're just trying to lock down on you guys. So it's definitely an interesting build, but it's definitely going to kind of change the way that Vival wants to fight in this. And I think it's going to be comfortable for Vival. They're a fast-moving team. They want to be aggressive, but it's more of like a jump in, hit something, get out. Jump in, hit something, get out. And they're making it work very well. Team Falcons Vega, when I was looking at the items, another thing to point out is Shell is starting to escape as well with that gold lead. Chinchao falling behind a bit.
It's so different to see. I mean, isn't it weird to see such a dominant force in the gold lane throughout MWI? Chinchao finally losing out in lane, and it's on a lane bully too. Chao's just been able to outsmart her. Waiting in the bushes, gap closing really, really well, and then using the ultimate to really force those flickers out. So Chinchao hasn't been able to get a good time in lane, and now you can definitely see it already because Chell, she's reached her power spike first. Level 10 to level 9 too. Now level 11 to level 9. Finally gets that level 10, so it's not that big of a difference, but you can already see Vitality hovering over the first Lord.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Lord's definitely, I would say, in the favorite of Team Vitality. I think one of the things that Team Falcons Vega's got going for them is the surprise effect, right? They have the chip, they have Funi on this Lu Yi, had a bit of a mind blank there. So they have that possibility, but it's like, do they really want to take that now? It's a 4K gold lead, and they don't have a big... I think if they had something like the Riz, something that could really catch them off guard, Violet can lock some people down, but as long as Team Vitality stays split up, it's just one member, and you're an easy target for Cine if you mess that up. You're an easy target for Shell if you mess that up. So I like the way that Falcons Vega is approaching this. They're going for some bot lane pressure. Even if they lose this Lord, they want to get something on the map out of it. So they're able to take this tower down on the top, the tier 2, down in the bottom lane, tier 2, which is going to be huge. Team Vitality now having to send someone over. So I think this could really be the correct approach for this Lord. if Team Vitality doesn't want to rush it, then Team Falcons Vega is going to play the map game.
This is something, a development that we've seen from Falcons Vega. Crash course over to Fumi Echo, but it's just a Therese. I don't think they want to go for the all-in there. Vivian, though. Already with the conceal, saw that melee and used the Mortal Coil, trying to go for it, but will not be able to. Back again, Falcons Vega, they have shown throughout MWI again that they've kind of fixed their mistakes. In the past, they were very, very vulnerable to late-game decision-making, to the discipline as well. They fall flat usually there, where they make up for it with insane early game. But in MWI, they've actually been able to adjust a lot of times. I think it was yesterday that they went for the split push instead of going for all the team fights, and they ultimately were able to win the game with Chin Chao split pushing into mid lane with a Harith.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of variety from Team Falcons. Not as much as, so Team Vitality showed a lot of variety in terms of hero pool. Team Falcons has showed a lot of variety in terms of playstyle. We've seen them be aggressive in early game. We've also seen them get pushed to late games and still be able to pull through. So we know that Team Falcons Vega have that like will to win in them, even when they're pushed against the wall. Down in the items, though, looks like we're going to be going into a Holy Crystal next right after the Lightning Trench, just straight to it. And this is what happens when you have that lead, right? You build aggressively, man. And we finally get the War Axe in, full revival as well, which again, we've seen it before, and we have to go defensively already for Chin Chao, huh? Already got to pick up Wind of Nature, which I don't think is horrible, but it's definitely going to slow down damage, right?
Heavily. Vivian already moving forward. Chin Chao flickered out. So preemptive flicker just by seeing Vivian. That's how scary
he's nervous.
Vivian is. You can see definitely, yeah, nervousness there. She already has a Wind of Nature, and now she doesn't have the flicker. So one defensive tool left. That's the Wind of Nature. She's still going to be very, very immobile in these skirmishes. No Mathilda to help her as well. And because she has shown herself in the bottom lane, Vitality want to just go for it. Vivo's 3 levels ahead of Maylin. I don't even think they can go for this. Fumi Echo doing a good job there at zoning them away. Violet going to be able to use the conceal. Helps out with Tal. Vivo still hovering over, sitting in the back level. They get over to the floor. Barrage catches them. Vivian able to escape. Vivo gets the retribution down on the Lord. So very low. Vivo full HP. Now with Lycan form trying to go for the chase. And Tal goes in 1v1 against Chin Chao. But that's where the Wind of Nature comes in handy. Vivo so hovering over Lycan pounce. Tal has the immortality. Seems Vivo wants to steal this as well. But there you go. She steals it. She gets the Lord. It's still a win.
Yeah, I will say this. I think either way, the big chance that Lord's going over to Vitality. The fact that they could get the kill on the Shell, the fact that they could get the kill on the Cine is decent for the price of Violet. They're going to lose something here, but it might have been better. I think it's better than just giving up Lord. Wait, Chin Chao taking off on the map. Now it's a loss.
And now it's a crash course. Straight into the Earth Shatter onward combo. Vivo just poking them down. No one's really hitting Vivo. She's doing a whole lot of damage. Lord gonna be dealt with. But while they're all busy up top, look at Fumi Echo with a Warhammer down below, just striking the turrets, taking it down. Vivo gets caught in the vacuum, as Wolf would put it, but will not be threatened. Yineng overturned. Good Mortal Coil to get out of it. Shell now sieging it down. Tao gonna try to go for the crash course. They just poke them down. They actually are able to get a base turret down below with the first Lord.
And Vivo feels good on this, Roger. Able to just, the dancing back and forth, the poking, completely comfortable, knows her limits on this hero completely, knows that she can take a couple shots to the face from Funi on the Lu Yi and still be okay to get away, pop into the wolf form, but is really just able to push everything to the limit here. I really wish we could have saw how Chin Chao got taken out.
Same. I
mean, just getting caught off guard or something. It's now a 5K gold difference between Vitality and Teams Vega. A little bit of play possibly on the bot side, but do they know that? Shell's, I don't think they know Shell's there right now.
Well, they're gonna walk up. I don't know if Chao wants to go for the pick onto Maylin. I don't know if Maylin is actually gonna walk up into that bush. Chao goes for it. There's assassination to come onto Maylin. He gets it. My goodness, Chao. Now, caught on the onward, but it's all a bait. Violet's gonna be caught even there. Implosion flicker from Vivian. And there's a penalty zone to lock them down. City caught in the full barrage, but they baited out another big ultimate. 2 members down. They might go for the siege.
That's the wait and bait right there. That's a sit back, relax, and wait for the hit. Shell sat in that bush until she knew the team was in the right distance that she could force it. And even if she started losing the fight, Vivian and the rest would show up in time.
Tal running back with the crash course. Vivian hovering over. They get another base turret without the Lord, and now it's perfect timing as well. They have far lane control, they have mid lane control. Enhanced Lords coming up. This is Vitality.
Yeah, this is definitely Vitality, but this is game one. Team Falcons Vega gonna have to figure something out. We just get the Rose Gold Meteor locked in for Shell. Gets to be even more aggressive, gets to even look for those one-on-ones even more now. And if you want to get close up and personal, you have the ability, because you get a little bit of shield if you even happen to get brought low. But at this point, Shell's only done once. But wait, Falcons Vega going for the all-in.
They're also able to survive somehow. Tal pops in the shortcut from the ankle with a penalty zone to Chell. He's going to be able to space out, flickers forward out to Footy. Gets the last swing of the hammer. Vivian still 1v3, stopping the recall. Chell able to secure Violet there in the back. Cindy going to be caught in the crash course. Flickers out of the full barrage. Vivian, no implosion, no flicker. But again, even despite that flank, Vitality win it. What?
And Team Falcons Vega, they roll the dice, they risk it there, and it falls right on its face. The damage not there. They didn't have Chinchaw with them in that diversion, and now Team Vitality looking for the possible finish.
Bomiek was just walking up. Chell is bursting Tal down. Immortality, one immortality in the back as well. A yin-yang overturn over to Chinchaw, just to diversion over towards them. It's a distraction for them to go for the base.
It's not just a distraction, that was destruction. Team Vitality showing why they are the best. Team Vitality showing why they don't take losses when it comes down to it. Yeah, we thought they looked a little shaky early on in the event, but right now, they're showing who the shaky teams really are.
Out of the 80 games played in this age-old matchup, Falcons Vega have only been able to take 10.
All right. That was an amazing game. Excited for the next 2 or 4. Let's see what our experts have to say about it. Toss it over to Leon Renmar.
It's not just familiarity with their opponents, it's just another level of understanding of MLBB, how you play the map, your specific hero kits. They're showing why they are the queens of the scene.
Early on, it seemed like there were chances for Team Falcons Vega because of their aggressive nature, because of how picks like Ixia were rising through the meta. But as early as, say, the first 5 minutes, you could see that, again, the way Team Vitality is so honed in and how they're so laser focused on success just denies these kind of pocket picks, these cheese picks throughout, you know, Chip and Loyi.
Yeah, it's denial. I feel like you said one of the key words here. It's the denial of the cheese picks, the power picks, but it's also denial of your opponents wanting to commit certain sequences. As you see here with the recap, that went a little bit over 16 minutes. Vitality, even though Falcons Vegas have kept it somewhat relatively close, it's just how they were moving. And I feel like I really want to put a lot of focus here onto two people. The mother of tanks, Vivian and Chell, they are on another level right now.
I mean, Vivian is the mother of tanks.
Vivian, you know, yeah, I said Vivian,
and
mother of tanks, and Chell.
There you
yeah.
go. But yes, the space that Vivian was buying for not just Shell, but the rest of her team, allowed for Shell to really just take in the gold lane experience. I think that's what she walked away with. Because we did talk about it off camera and during the match alongside her special guest here, C9's very own Coach Midnight, that in the lane, the carry should be struggling against the Ixia, right? Because the Ixia has a kit that can both sustain herself and CC the carry, which the carry just couldn't deal with early on. But you saw there that more often than not, 2 out of 3 times in the early to mid game, carry was dominating Chinchaw. Chinchaw was being sent home.
Yeah, it was quite difficult there. There's something I just want to fix right here because there's 2 dudes here. Oh, they're here right now. All right, you guys are staying. No, you guys stay right there.
Herbert,
you guys chill out.
Get us out, man.
Do your job. Just cast.
You cast, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. And then we want to know also now. Tell us what you think. Let's start with you, Mirko. Maybe I'll think about letting you out if you tell me what you thought about game number 1.
Okay, I'll be honest with you, man. You know, we've had this conversation as well behind. Oh,
we're back.
We're back. Okay, but yeah, me and Trex, we had this conversation. He was telling me about, you know, Falcons Vega being really, really good, and I agree. In this tournament, Falcons Vega, I would say, have been more, you know, flashy, have been more impressive. But Vitality, they've been winning with non-meta picks. This time around, they went with meta picks. see what happens. That's Vitality. I know, every time I see this team look, you know, kind of vulnerable, they show up the next day. It's just Vitality.
Mirko's crushing my dreams over here, you know? We were talking before the game. I said, I got a feeling Vega might be able to pull this off.
I was just like, no.
He said no. I said no. I don't really have much. I ain't got much else to say about that.
Not even a shred of hope.
Not even a
I really hope so. I mean, personally, I'm rooting for Falcons Vega to make it more exciting, but the reality, the grim reality of Vitality sometimes just hits you hard.
The grim reality of Vitality. That is harsh. I like how that sounds, though. So we'll get back to y'all later on. Thank you, Mirko and Trex. The grim reality of Vitality is that, yeah, the more you watch them, the more you see why they've been the queens of the scene for such a very long time. So let's see who is the PlayStation MVP for that game number 1. Who stood out? It's Chell. It's the carry. We talked about Vivian, the mother of tanks, setting things up for Shell. There was one play that she did in the bottom lane where it was just her alone in that shrub for quite some time before the members of Vitality decided, hey, finally, let's pull the trigger on this play.
But also multiple times, even in mid. It's very odd that you see a carry dominate and push back multiple members of the opposing team. This is that one. Yeah, you're talking about it.
Yep.
Pow! And then in comes the cavalry, in comes the backup, and yeah, they were never the same. Look at that. Vivian not only helps set up, but even helps finish the job. And this bush right here, that's Shell's favorite. The river bush up north and down south. She would stand there and push back 3 or 4 members of Falcons Vega single-handedly just because they're afraid of the burst.
Yep, just her alone. So it looks like the Falcons Vega. I like their approach to the draft. How they're playing the game can be just tweaked a little bit. But the more I think about, Carrie almost got me. Girl, please be careful next time entering. You almost kicked me in the face.
You're lucky a light wheel didn't hit your face.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. I just hope Falcons Vega just make some little readjustments with their commitments or where they decide to go, reading the situation a little bit better, because Vitality, they are on point right now. Not to say the Falcons Vega are sloppy, it's more of just Vitality just playing better as of this moment, as of game number 1.
And in the moment, we're talking about specifics, right? Like in that river bush and in that bottom lane bush, you know Shell is there, so you know she owns that part of the map. But even when you know that these specific parts of the map are under Vitality's control, the whole map belongs to them. I have a very specific play that I hope we have time to break down, because this was masterful. It happened in the early game towards the transition into the mid, just leaving the laning phase. And when I saw that play, I was all like, yeah, no, Vitality knows how to control the map even without actually winning team fights.
Hopefully we do get a moment to break that play down. But before that, let's go on over to Eterna, who got a few words in with Shell.
Hey everyone, it's me, Eterna, alongside with Shell from Team Vitality. So we're now in the semifinals, but this time around, for the grand finals, we're not going to be seeing an Indo versus Indo grand finals for the first time in history in the MLBB women's competitive scene.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Shell?
I mean, we hope for all Indo finals, but what can we do? So maybe we just gonna play our best here in the knockouts, and then hopefully we're gonna reach the grand final.
Is there a bit of sadness going in without Falcons?
Yeah, but
If you win. I was assuming they were winning. Oops.
But it's mainly gonna be happiness if we win.
Of course, of course. And you know, before today, I think a lot of people are centering on both of these Indonesian teams because everyone knows about the sister duos. So could you share with us a little bit of your routine before you start a match with Cine, maybe?
Maybe we bond, we get a little touch with each other before match.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you like play other things or do you watch movies maybe before you started today?
No. We just stand next to each other all the time.
Oh, that's cute. I'd love to have my sister here as well. You know, speaking of the sister duo, so from Falcons Vega, the team that you're going to go up against next, they have Chinchao and they have Funi.
Yeah.
And I think earlier on, Cine was like, we're the better sister duo. Do you feel the same way?
I agree that we're better, but they're good.
Okay.
They're good.
Do you have a message for them if they're watching right now?
Maybe good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun? No taunt? Nothing?
No, good luck, have fun.
Okay. Shell still staying humble as ever. Okay, so thank you, Shell. I'm not going to bother you any further. Good luck for your next journey,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we get to see you in the grand finals.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys. See you in the studio.
Thank you, Turna. A humble queen, that one in Shell. I feel like she got to say something that summed things up quite well, which was, they're good, but we're better. And there was one play that stood out amongst the rest that Leo actually wants to point out here. It's not with Shell, but it's with two key members of Team Vitality. Leo, what play is that you want to show us?
If anything, it was the absence of Shell, the absence of Vivian, Vival, even Chinny. I'm looking back at it now. This was the 5-minute 44-second mark, and it's a very big presence by Team Vitality down in the bottom. It's clear that they're maybe setting up for a push, but look at the other half of the map here. Check this out. Right here. You see a little corner up there?
Yeah.
You see Fumi Echo all alone. And we're going to play it right here. Because of how very, very capable Team Falcons Vega's lineup is, Tal was able to hit the shortcut right there, the Y-walk portals, boop, and was able to set up a shortcut ult to send the rest of her team out to take down Fumi Echo. And at this point, I can only assume the call was, okay, we were going to go for the push anyways. Down here, Fumi Echo, you buy time. And guess how much time Fumi Echo buys all alone as a Terizla at about 6 minutes. Counting at currently 5:55 when the engagement happens. Check this out. Now 6. Now 6:05. Look, all the waves down up top are clearing, down bottom are clearing, and Fumi Echo is still alive. 10 seconds in, 15 seconds, and she even takes a kill with the help of Chinny. Now she finally dies, and it turns into a 2-for-1 across the map. That is macro excellence coming in from Team Vitality. And again, look, you could have sworn that it was only Fumi Echo getting taken down, but the reaction across the map, Chinny was about here when this happened. When this started, Chinny was right there in this part of the map right here. Right there. There. Chinny walked all the way because of how long the time Fumi Echo bought, and that turned into 2 big victories, down bottom and up top. You cross-map control. Team Vitality are capable of things like this even when it's the opponents who are setting up kills. I don't know if they're inside Falcons Vega's heads, but at this point, this was 6 minutes in. They got massive stonks off of that singular play.
Yeah, massive stonk indeed. And you know what, well, with Fumi, playing the EXP laner, you're someone who is known to be very solid, but I'd love to give her a nickname, Liquid. Fumi Liquid Echo. She just goes with the flow, man. She understands the play here. Midnight's giving me a face. He's still right here.
How many? Out of 5, how many?
What's your rating for that? He gave me 6 out of 5.
Or out of 10?
12.
Oh, wow.
Ah, he loved that. Hopefully y'all love that at home. But no, seriously, Fumi, I've always been so impressed with how she plays. Her late entries, when she decides to go in, join in for the fight, it's just so good. So let's see if Falcons Vega will do anything to shift things around with that regard in dealing with the EXP laner of Vitality. No sides have been switched. Little by little, that Falcons Vega blue side victory rate is going down.
Oh, no, just the overall victory rate at that 60-40 when the day started. I'm guessing by the time the day ends, especially if this ends up in a sweep, that confirms 2 things. Number 1, the meta was skewed through the groups into the playoffs. And number 2, I may have come from a different timeline. We're not seeing 5 games, and it's not a surprising result. There's the Baksha, Falcons, Vega. They did this in the first game too. What are they blocking out of Vitality? Why is that such a specific ban?
I do remember 1 or 2 key Baksha games, if I'm not mistaken, from Vival, but at the same time, I feel like it's also just them respecting a really good hero that can front, that can give vision, and that can disrupt what Falcons Vega wants to do. And they still go for the chip.
I was gonna say, was this the Riz or was this the Edith first? But no, it's the chip.
All right, that might be the play here for Falcons Vega.
I'm afraid that this is turning into insanity, man. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something new, and insanity it is. There's Trizla Roger.
Yeah, same, but different, but still same. Falcons Vega with 2 more picks here. I wonder if they're going to shift things up and then maybe decide to pick the carry a little bit earlier.
I think the carry would be good, because again, the carry does well against the Terizla. You just pick up a Purify, you know, you're fine. Especially if you... Wait, was Valentina banned down?
Yes, it was banned.
Oh, she better be. Okay, I'm just saying. Whoa!
They go for the Jask. I know
Zask.
it's Zask, but I like calling him Jask.
All right, Jushin. I don't like that Jushin wasn't picked up, all right? Maybe Jushin comes through for Vitality here.
Yeah, these teams have a little bit of a Jushin allergy. So it's a slight adjustment. Now it's Edith and Zask.
Yeah, maybe the low E was an overload.
Yeah. I mean, we did talk about it before with like Loey and Chip. It's one part of it is it's a disgusting combo. The other part is it's a little bit overkill. You don't need that much map presence, and honestly, it's fine.
Yeah, the Jask here allows for them to buy a little more time. I think that's what they were lacking in the first draft.
Yeah.
They were very macro-centric, very like in your face, but what if it doesn't pan out? They had no way out. With a Zask, though, they can, buy time. They can, plant themselves in a certain box. Because, again, it was yesterday we mentioned Zask is a hero that plants multiple boxes. You're able to engage on maybe 2 different fronts, 1.5, if you're not positioning yourself very well. And you can go from there. Now, during the second phase of banning, Falcons Vega are choking down on mid lane choices. After this low Yi, what else might they want to take out? We haven't seen any Vexana in a while.
Yeah.
Jushin, you want to take out Jushin?
I'll lean more towards the Vex. But then we do see... Don't people usually pick up the Zask into the Jushin? So if it's
Or
not
the
gonna be
Jushin to the Zask. We've seen it either way. We've seen it both ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a Jushin, you don't care.
Oh yeah, that's...
You can choke slam on a Nightmare Spawn, even the big one.
That's fair. Do you really want to bring that closer to you? Oh, you
I
can
mean,
bring it away from you.
Far away, diagonally, in between, whatever.
Directions, yeah. I want to see a little bit more. Well, you can just walk up right now. Wow, they're respecting the Kagura.
Chinny was that good.
Yeah, they saw the previous draft and said, yeah, the Kagura was the problem. Interesting.
She was a really good assassin.
Yeah. You mentioned Vexana. I'd like a Vexana. Yeah, it's a good pairing with the Tigreal and the Terizla.
Not very good, though, when you get jumped on with a shortcut, but that's why you put Flicker on her.
Yeah. As long as you have the flicker, you'll be fine.
You reposition, and then you have your 2 chunky frontliners.
Plus, you have someone who can check the shrub for the Tigreal that isn't a face check.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like around the mid. And you need that when you're up against Falcons Vega, a team that last year was named GPX Basreng, the second placers of MWI 2023, and they played aggro then. But here it is, finally, Leo, they heard you. They picked up the Jushin.
That's my girl right there.
That's your girl?
Jushin is my off-meta pick. Day one, I said, you know what? Jushin's going to show up. And here she is. You're talking about how the Vexana can check bushes. Jushin can do the same.
That's true.
The Lantern Flare.
Let's see what Falcons Vega will do in response. It's enough magic damage. You need true or you need physical. The difficult thing is if you go for something like an Alpha in the jungle, that's going to struggle. The Ling is still open, but is there enough spot here for you to actually Ling jungle? So they go...
That's not physical.
That's a lot of magic. That's way too much magic.
That's magic. That's
and
what
you
we
have
would
one
call...
source of physical?
There's a Moskov, all right. They're covering physical there, but the question is it enough? Because it's still, right now, it's very Harry Potter, as they would say.
Yeah, oh, very Harry Potter.
Hermione, if you want to.
Aloha Mora?
Ohana. All right.
Oh, yeah.
One more pickup here. We're lacking a gold laner. There it is. Put the carry back on show. Why not?
Yeah. Again, that's a condition. If you only have one source of magic damage, you pair it up with true or just a lot of really strong physical damage.
This is literally the same hero. You just change the Japanese Shrine Maiden with a Chinese Immortal Wish granting entity.
Yeah. So it's just this within the same realm of possibilities.
Lantern Umbrella, whatever.
Yeah, lore-wise, it's the same object. But Falcons Vega, leaning a little bit more towards magic damage, a bunch of Radiant Armors might turn that around, while Team Vitality, again, it's a reiteration of their Game 1 draft. Let's see if this will fare better for Vega. Will they get the early game that they want here? Trex, Mirko.
We're here. Trex, Mirko, thank you, Leo, and Renmar. We're jumping into game number 2 in a best of 5. Team Vitality starting off strong. And it seems like as this game moves on, their picks just get more meta. Their picks just get... They have to ban the Kagura, but now they just get the Jushin. So it's definitely going to be tough the way Team Falcons Vega want to approach this. They have some late game opportunity. They do have some decent early game as well in their jungle. But I think the big question is can they outperform Vitality when the game is on?
That's a big question that we have. And already in the early game, you can see Cine utilizing that lantern flare, man. Constantly just putting it up on to Funi. But yeah, I mean, again, it seems kind of eerie when Vitality go for an off-meta pick, right? And then now that you see a real meta pick, you're like, okay, what do they have cooking right now? Melee able to pick up the Lethal Wanderer, it seems. There you go, away from Vival. Vival doesn't use the Retribution. But in terms of this matchup, are you Team Umbrella or are you Team Lantern? Are you Team Zusin or are you Team Kagura?
You know me, I'm a old school man. I'm a classic man, but wait a second, Vival.
Great pick. Melee now with the enhanced sword, moving forward, Vivian to be caught. Now uses the shove, has the flicker to escape. Funi almost getting the kill down. Tao hovering over this time. Falcons Vega strike first.
All right, so they use Melee. They're able to get that first blood onto Melee as well. They get some of that early game aggression, which is going to be huge. Follow up on your question, though, I am a Kagura man.
Oh. Yeah, Echo seems like there's always a 2v1 kind of Terizla here. Winning out on the 2v1s this time. I wouldn't say it's, okay, now it's a kind of a win. Doing a lot of damage back on the Talon. Vival's already rotated up there. Funi, good read. Spot Vival in the bush. Vival still wants to go for the like and pounce, wants to get rid of the little Johnny boy. That's what we call him.
The Johnny Boys.
Johnny boys.
The Johnny Boys. They come down from space.
And their name is Johnny.
And their name is Johnny. All of their names are Johnny.
Yes.
Is it the same boy or is it multiple boys?
It's multiple Johnnies.
Like everyone's a different Johnny.
Everybody is a different Johnny.
But they're clones.
Be Johnny, yeah.
Yeah, got it. All right, Turtles up. 2 minutes in. Team Falcons Vega with a small lead. We're actually about 1,000 lead already, 2.5 minutes in. And with that kill, that first blood they got beaten on Vival, it's definitely, I feel like, going to give Melee some priority when it comes to these neutral objectives. The way that Team Vitality is looking, they might not even want to fully try to push this. Violet going to be zoning Vival away.
City walks up, Melee picks up the turtle. That's 1-0, 1,000 gold lead still. As well as you can see for Team Vitality, it seems like this game they're taking a bit more of a slower approach, wanting to just farm it out. So I wanted to look at the emblems here. It doesn't seem like there's anything too crazy in the matchup, though, by the way. Moskov versus the carry. It's a bit different in a way where it's not a complete bully, but Moskov still does have a good time against the carry. You have a way to say, nah, I've had enough, right? In every single trade with the Spear of Misery. So with that, usually you aren't able to take control of the wave. This time, though, with a few rotations down below, they're always able to just relieve pressure off of Chell. Now, even a few hits onto the turret shield. Chell walks up, gets a bit of damage there. Not a lot, just a bit.
Team Vitality looks for that gold lane, that same push. I've seen it after first turtle, after second turtle sometimes, but they always come down looking for Chincha. They know how important Shell comes when it comes to their big mid-game spike. Ooh, there's that just rush in.
Dominator's Ascent used up as well. Tao, and he picked up good Spear of Vengeance all the way to the back. Pops in the beacon. Cindy still able to survive as she uses the regen too. Up top, Fumi Echo in a 1v1. Violet popping in a Primal Wrath. Fumi Echo with the penalty zone. Now a few last hits, but Fumi Echo is still able to survive under the turret.
Okay, so Team Falcon Vega seems to have brushed off some of the rust here, gotten off some of the dust. Ooh. They're definitely a bit more in their zone. Even Chincha coming in to help out Thal there and actually push Team Vitality back. Team Falcons Vega making some of these plays finally work. Game one, they were looking for the plays, but it seems like they always fell a bit short. This time, they're pulling through.
Definitely. Now it's almost a 2,000 gold lead for Team Falcons Vega, and the next neutral objective is going to spawn. Falcons Vega, this is their power spike. With the Sauce, with the Edith, the Julian, and even the Chip, they're going to have so many ways to enter and approach this fight.
All right, so with second turtle being down, Team Vitality, Vival up against Melee, a level difference right now. Vival might be able to catch up at some point. Corrosion Sight does get locked in for Shell, and with this turtle being down at gold line. Ooh, Cine already taken out.
40 Dominators to set, absolutely deleting Cine off the map. There's a shortcut placed down. Chinchao will take it. Seems like it's going to be a 2v1 situation up top right there. That's going to be a good Spear of Misery to pin Chell down. Forcing her to flicker. Spear of Vengeance into the back. Chell going to be slain under the turret. Melee picks up a turtle down below. Team Falcons Vega finding their jam.
Picks up a turtle, picks up the pace, and now Vivian as well.
Penalty zone, instant purify from Funi, gets out, Vival on the chase. Not able to really go all in. Great disengage from Falcons Vega, and great objective take up top. That's Chinchao on the board.
You know, I was telling Nicer the other day that maybe the answer to the Jushin is just, you know, getting up close and personal with it, dashing in. And right now, Thal is the perfect answer to that, right? You have that crash course, you have that ability to get right in there and then bring all your teammates right around her. We saw Cindy get taken out earlier. Taking a look at some of these items now, Funi has locked in the glowing wand. We're starting to see the damage come a bit more than from her. Genius Wand as well, locked in for melee. Going to the next item. I mean, everyone on the side of Team Falcons Vega is holding the lead, and for the first time we see nobody on team, because sometimes even when Team Vitality falls behind, Shell still has a gold lead on the other gold laner. One of the members is at least keeping up, but this time Team Falcons Vega holding a strong lead across the whole map.
They're even having to force it out, some of these maneuvers, you know, Cindy going to the bottom lane to share some of the gold XP with Fumi Echo. Cindy hovering over with the flare. That's a shove down. Tal gonna be caught. A lot of damage placed down, but she does have the flicker still, so not really in any threat. That's a big resource still burnt down, and Cindy still wants to utilize that Spear of Misery down below. Pinning down Fumi Echo. And does seems like for Falcons Vega as well, they're playing it chill. They don't really need to rush anything. They are the ones in the lead. It's kind of Vitality that are placed in a position where they need to look for a game-changing play.
You know, we've been waiting to see the Moskov really pop off in MWI. We haven't seen it played as much. It's kind of fallen off of the meta a little bit in terms of at least MWI, but Chincha is showing up on it right now. And it makes me feel like it's just been one of the gold laners that, it's been one of the gold lane heroes that Team Falcons Vega maybe hasn't really pulled out, but this almost feels like one of Chincha's best picks right here.
3 neutral objectives uncontested here. Team Falcons Vega with another big objective take. Just waiting on the turtle, waiting on the Lord at this point. For Vitality, it's still, for them, all about waiting for their power spike. So I'm guessing right now it's all about waiting for Chell, Cine, and Vival. All 3 to get their item power spikes. I think Vival's already gone there, but Cine and Chell definitely a bit behind in that department. They get spotted out. I think Funi saw the concealed team there, so they are able to just hold out. They know Team Vitality are in the bottom lane. They'll push up top.
Yeah, and I mean, with that long lane up top right now, or the lane up top getting pushed in a bit, they have to send someone up here. Taking a look at the items. Shell still a little bit behind, still getting into the second item right now, to whereas Chincha, Golden Staff, I mean, on the way to DHS at this point, on the way to that third item around 9-minute timing, and that's what we've been seeing from the, when you know the gold lane is really ahead right now in MWI, and Chincha's been on both sides of the map non-stop, been able to use the Spear of Destruction to catch members on the opposite side of the map. Taking a look at the stage right now, Falcons, they feel, the nest is feeling good right now, to say the least.
Absolutely phenomenal support here from the fans in the building. Shout outs to the Team Falcons Vegas fans here, even bringing in their banners. Really, really cool stuff, especially after that Game 1 loss. They're still here supporting, and they need it for Falcons Vega. Chinchao taking a shortcut. Funi as well. Taking these shortcuts, but unfortunately they're really unable to lock Vivian down there. They do burn a big resource, which is the flicker. Without the flicker, Tigreal loses a whole lot of that engaging power that he usually has. Even the pickup power, technically, in these skirmishes. Chell in the bottom lane. Oh, taking and eating up the enhanced scythe. Almost getting picked off. I don't know where, if Chinchao actually threw the Spear of Vengeance earlier. Tal gonna be picked up, thrown back again. Vival this time, despite being behind, decides to go for the Skypiercer.
Hey man, to get what you can. I think like you said earlier, waiting for that power spike, and Vival might feel like it's coming soon. Team Vitality might feel like it's coming soon, might be the opportunity, and there goes an implosion.
Onto Violet. Now good penalty zone as the Spear of Vengeance comes down. Violet with Primal Rat utilizing it. Now it's going to be a good Spear of Misery to pin Vival down. Not able to dish a damage. Shell going to be demolished there by Chinchao. And even on the back, the piercing shot took down Cine. Chinchao. Falcons Vega wipe out Vitality 5-1.
In a matter of seconds, Team Vitality completely taken off the map, all for the price of melee, and in my eyes, that is a very good deal. And with the pressure they have on the map, they're gonna get a lot out of this, man. They got a bottom lane already coming towards a tier 2. The rest of the team able to take this tier 2 in the mid as well. Chincha immediately gonna move up, but let's take a look at the replay real quick. Vivian thinks she's getting the win out of this, gets the implosion off, but Spear Destruction comes up, and once we see Chincha get involved, we get the pin onto Vival, take out both damage dealers in a matter of seconds, echoes all that's left But Funieko can't fight against that speed right there. Chincha, look at the reaction from Melee as well. Violet, they're feeling good. Game 1 was just the starting grounds.
Absolutely. It was just a warm-up to them, it seems, here. Game number 2, getting the better read, still getting the chip. And utilizing it way better this time around. That front to back, if Vitality wants to play with. Yeah, it doesn't work against the Moskov. Now with the piercing damage, constantly hitting the back line too. And that's why the Sky Piercer here for Vival. Especially considering she was the one that, you know, was taken down first. It's an interesting build to go for. You're still very confident that they can get a few more of these kills. But now with the Big Lord marching down, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like War Axe would have maybe been a bit more helpful here, but now Lord's going to be walking in, no crash.
Fully defense. Popped it already. Oh, that was one shot too! Target's brought back, but over 2 basic attacks from the Moskov. Did you see that? Just piercing through Vival and Vivian, chunked, forced to recall the way Chinchao gets a win of nature. So now it's up to Ginny. And technically Chell with the true damage, the sisters, to deal with her again. The piercing shots are just doing so much damage. They've cracked open some of those holy defenses of the base turrets, mid lane and top lane. I believe even in the bottom lane they did. So yeah, no more holy defense available. Oh, bottom lane still intact there. 1 left in the far lane.
This is not the composition that you want to let be 7,000 gold ahead of you at 11 minutes, right? We're already seeing the Zas just really power through the damage coming in. This is a hero normally that has decent poke, but not as much impact in early game, and it's found this mid-game spike. It's almost found its late-game spike at only 10 minutes. And then we got Chincha as well, another normally late-game hero that normally you pick if you really want to hunker down and wait for that moment to shine. But Chincha's been able to get the farm on. Thal going to be able to walk away from this conceal play. Team Vitality at this point kind of searching and they're grouping up. They know all they have is their inhibitors left. The damage dealt from Zask right now, 37,000, leading the charge, even above Chincha right now. And that's one of the things about the Zask. You don't really see it exactly when it's happening in the big team fight, but Zask right now is the one who's really shredding everyone down.
The PBs on top of the damage dealt.
The little Johnnies.
The purple boys.
The big Johnny, actually.
The big...
You got Big Johnny, Daddy Johnny, Little Johnnies.
Little Johnnies. The big Johnny is the Dominator's Descent, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we call him here as well. That one right there that just got picked up by Vival. That's Little Johnny. Oh, Tom thrown away. Good shot. Oh, the chain CC. The timing's perfect to get the shortcut down, but I don't think they want to keep this. City able to get out. Dominator's Descent already placed down. A lot of damage placed down on the Vivian with the Spear of Mystery as well, but Chinchao has got to respect the penalty zone. Connects onto the back line. Vival chasing down Chinchao. No! All the leads that they have built to the 13th minute of the game. 2 members down and the Lord has just spawned in.
And Melee looks like Melee. I think the idea was keep them at bay. We're going to get the Lord. Completely backfires. Thal gets caught off. I think at that point, Chincha shouldn't have invested.
No Dominator's Descent as well. Fumieco still going to be melted down. Violet popping in Primal Wrap. Enhanced Sword. Vivian's still able to flicker out of it with the conceal. Bringing Chell back to safety. Now it's a 4v4. Seems Funi also has Dominator's Descent and Falcons Vega. Despite that little mishap, they're still able to recover. City in the bush. Vival hovering over. City walking up now. Vival looking for a Violet, doing a good job in zoning. Dominator's Descent only to the back. City again with a flicker forward, finding Melee with a peek in there with the Spear of Vengeance. Connects as well. Chinchao able to participate. Sydney all alone in the back. Forced to run to the wrong side of the map, and it should just be a free kill over. Little Johnny's just there lasering her down, and that is Team Falcons Vega, who recover and get the value trade.
We've been talking about Chincha this whole game, but Melee just showed up. That small mechanic movement, hitting the winner crown, and having, I mean, just a split second of being able to get the retribution on before you go down was just legendary right there. Dominator's Descent.
The glowing wand takes her down to the back. Fumieco gonna be next on the chopping block. Violet finding the onward. Oh, good Spear of Misery to cancel the implosion. Fumieco with the penalty zone, getting the immortality of Violet right there as Vival goes in for the Lycan Pounce. Chinchao staying focused on the base. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a series on our hands.
1-1. Team Vitality taken down this time. Falcons Vega, the nest is loud right now. A strong victory to even the playing field. Showing up and even bringing back in that chip. And Thal just played it so much better that time. Chincha, I mean, they all played so much better this time. Definitely now we're in for a series. Let's see what our analysts have to say about it. How's it going over there, Renmar Leo?
The Nest thunders with Let's Go Falcons. Here's a suggestion for everyone in the Amazon arena. Yalla Vega!
Yalla Vega is the cheer given how forward Falcons Vega played this game. Again, both teams, to be fair, both teams just iterated on their game 1 draft. And here, Falcons Vega found their groove. And apparently, what you need to do is put Chinchaw on the Moskov, get Funi on a Zask, and I guess Melee just played Melee things. It was crucial that she played a hero that has a solid amount of CC.
Yep.
She played a hero that could dive and be a threat to anyone who's pushing forward from Team Vitality. And I think that's what made it awkward for Team Vitality. They had a solid draft, don't get me wrong, but even Vivian, the mother of tanks, couldn't do anything. Because even she could just possibly die from the hands of Funi. Funi played an amazing Zask.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Funi because her usage of the Dominator's Descent and maximizing that to zone out the members of Vitality during fights and just being a presence at the right time to make Vitality think twice about taking certain sequences, it's really one of the key factors as to why Falcons Vega won so many fights during that game number 2.
Might I even present that she is a possible candidate for PlayStation MVP?
Ooh, quite
It's that good. She played the Zask that well that the aforementioned miniature Johnnies were enough of a threat. She got like 1 or 2 kills free, literally just by standing there, dropping minuscule Johnny, and then just, all right, up to you. I guess maybe you can chalk it up to the economic advantage. Clearly, she was 1,000 or 2 above Chinny,
yeah.
But you know, more than just the range factor, the firepower that she was letting through for free. Mind you, for free was really a game changer.
Yeah, speaking of the firepower, I think one of the strengths we saw here for Falcons Vega during the game was that, yes, yeah, as expected in MLBB, you shine together as a team. But when you have 2-3 members who can make plays on their own, then it's like one for all for one, or all for one for all. I'm gonna work on that analogy a little bit.
That's a quirk.
But here's something for you. PlayStation MVP, who will it be? Chincha, Funi. There's a lot of names you can throw up in the air, and it is Funi. It is the Zask.
Yeah. Look at that, 79%. What? I'm pretty sure it could have been more. What? It could have been more, but because of the chip, right? There were calls where, okay, Funi, we need you here. Funi, we don't. And it's that out of this world tempo on the alien hero that is Zask that allows for Team Vitality to say, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we can pick a fight. And even if you have such a strong meta hero, such as the this is a really good fight right here. This is the free hits Moskov moment that just wiped out Team Vitality. Sometimes you could think, hey, maybe not all of them are gonna go through the shortcut. Hey, maybe she'll just drop a microscopic Johnny and then get out. No, sometimes she just leans hard into it. And even a full combo of Vivian, Shell, Fumi, or Vival, Shell, Fumi, couldn't stop what Falcons Vega were putting down.
She is our MVP for game number 2. Someone that we didn't expect, actually, heading into MWI to get a lot of playing time, because she's sort of careful with that staff, man. Almost poked my eye out. Someone who in tournaments leading up to MWI 2024 didn't see a lot of playing time, but here she is coming back with a vengeance, seeking revenge against their long-term rivals, their long-time rivals.
I guess a change that was inevitable. Again, the meta is changing.
Yeah.
The winds are changing. This is a tournament of a scale that we've never seen. Hey, Chell, what?
Whoa!
That's full-on heel Chell.
That's heel movements by Vitality. I like it.
But yeah, no, again, things change.
Yeah.
Again, Team Vitality, not the hometown heroes. It's Falcons Vega now, screaming Yalla Vega.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess it came time that Funi stepped up.
Yeah, for sure. And for Team Vitality, of course, they're up against a hostile crowd. It's clearly Falcons Vega sided. as the best MLBB women's team in the world, you're going to need to do everything that you can for yourself to make sure you get an edge against your opponent. But Falcons Vega now, it seems like we're seeing it. Fired up with the crowd, being supported by the crowd here at the Amazon Arena is just helping them greatly. A team that loves the early game, that loves the snowball, finally finding their element in that game number 2 to tie up the series 1-1. Eterna got a few words in with the MVP of game number 2, Funi. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hey guys, it's Eterna here backstage with Funi from Team Falcons Vega. Now, Funi,
Hello.
you're coming in as the starting lineup. Don't lie to me.
I
You are.
know.
You might be. Okay.
I might be,
So
but I
if
don't
you
know.
are, you
Mhm.
are going to be paired in with Jin Chao,
Yeah.
right? So how is that? How is your bond with Jin Chao in game, and how does it differ with all the rest of the members in the team?
I think me and Shincho, if you see our matches before, we always have the same mindset. Like we always
Ah.
work together, stick together, and we die together. Something like that.
So if you win together too.
we win together, we lose together, we live together, we die together. Like that.
Okay. So in game, does it mean that there are sometimes like you don't even have to communicate what you're going to do? She just knows what you're going to do and vice
yeah,
versa?
yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Sister bond,
Sister
guys.
bond,
Sister
yeah.
bond. Now, on the other side, against your opponents today, Team Vitality, they also have a sister bond going
Yeah.
on. Do you think that this sister bond can help you in your gameplay and execution against Team Vitality later on?
We play as a team of 5, not a team of 2. So, yeah, we'll play with each other with the 5 players, not with us sisters only.
Are you the stronger sister duo?
No. Statistically, it's them.
Who knows, it's your time to shine this time around.
Amen.
Well, Funi, I asked Shell the same question earlier on, and this time around, for the first time in history, we're not going to see an Indo-Indo Grand Finals.
Yes.
How do you feel about
Yeah,
that?
it's such a shame because if we look at the season 1 and season 2, it's all Indo versus Indo Grand Final.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's
the
okay.
drawing sucks.
The drawing sucks. Who
Yeah.
drew? She doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward into your next match, do you have a message, not to your fans this time, but to Team Vitality?
Let's have a nice game. Good luck, guys. Have fun. Yeah.
Wow, you guys are so nice. Shell had a similar message earlier on too. Well, these girls are amazing. These girls are nice. But good luck. I'm not going to keep you any further. Hopefully, we get to see you in the grand finals.
Amen.
Bye bye, guys. Back to the studio.
Everyone's humble. Everyone's chill. That's the vibe right now of Team Vitality Falcons Vega as when it comes to with each other. Let's check out an update for the STC predictions. Do we have an update? Are there like results already out yet? Or it's just a quick little reminder? It's a quick little reminder for y'all to, don't forget, please continue to send in your predictions for this matchup, Falcons Vega versus Team Vitality. If you thought this would be an easy coast sweep win for Team Vitality, Falcons Vega, they are fighting back. stcplay.gg is where you have to go for that. Now, heading into game number 3, Vitality, if I'm not mistaken, can pick the side that they're going to be going to.
Yep.
They chose to stay red for the second game. Do you think it's time for them to pick blue side this time around?
No question. Do that. It's the shun the arm to jog up the playstyle and the tempo because already game 1 and 2, I don't know how much you can iterate, honestly. How much you can just amend and say this is the same lineup over and over again. And the fact that already very little change between game 1 and 2 when it comes to both teams' drafts. Going blue side and then switching up the tempo should be a great start to get Team Vitality back on track.
Yeah. Falcons Vega, they are a team that are momentum based. So if you're Team Vitality and you can do anything that you can to halt the momentum of your opponent, and if that means changing up how the flow of the draft goes, then you obviously go for it. So I'm in agreement with you here that there has to be a side switch. If not a side switch, then you switch up the bans.
That's
We've
right.
been seeing Chip prioritize now for 2 games for the side of Falcons Vega. You can take it out. It's been Valentina, Harith, Minotaur, if I'm not mistaken, that's been their priority bans for the series so far.
Maybe if you jog up those bans, you might even get Minotaur through. And that'll change again the tempo of the fights. Sure, Tigreal is great. Chip is amazing. didn't do much in game 1, but game 2 definitely opened up the map for Falcons Vega. But imagine if the Minotaur came through, right? Minotaur, I think right now is the most, or one of the most notorious heroes, both in picks and win rate. Minotaur is so successful right now in MWI, and if anyone can try to pull it through, squeeze it through, without the threat of a Valentina, maybe just keep Valentina off the board. That's number 1. Then whoever does that definitely has a bigger chance to take down game 3.
One thing I'd want to ask you here is,
Yes.
what if, for Vitality, a quick little recommendation, what if they decide to draft a little bit more for that woman over there? What if they decide to change up their draft a little bit more, this time for Fumi Echo? They pick up more, maybe not always just rely on the Terizla, but pick up something that will allow Fumi Echo to be more present around the map, not just holding a lane.
Something tells me, as good as that sounds, right, to switch it up, maybe, I think Fumi Echo is just a, how do I say, known element. The fact that she's so good on these heroes, the Edith, the Terizla, the Arlott, if you take her off of that and then you put her on maybe, what, the next best thing would be a Yu Zhong, then you have to draft for the rest of the team. The rest of the team has to adjust. And I'm not so sure if that's a game 3 strat. You know what I mean? Game 3, you're switching the gears up a little too much. You're going from blue side, red side to blue side. You're putting priority and initiative onto Fumi Echo. Maybe one step at a time. Maybe move it around first. And yes, there's the aforementioned lane switch. And look, Vitality took it to heart. We're not just trying to go for the Minotaur. We're also taking out the Valentina. All on us.
Yeah, even on the blue side, it's still the same bans for them. That was 2 of the 3 bans. Let's see if the Harith will be open for Vitality. And it's Falcons Vega. It seems like that's the trend. This entire series, we probably won't see Angela Baksha. But in a bit of a surprise move, Vitality takes away the chip. I thought that they might even float the idea of keeping it open for themselves.
So now are they saying Falcons Vega pick the Luyi?
Ooh.
Make our day.
Make our day. Let's see if that'll happen. It seems like Falcons Vega now are going to be playing into a field where the Rogers, the Lynx, the Hayabusas of the world will be open unless they take one of those out. But no, it's a Claude. So it's a free board of assassins opened up for both teams.
Yep, Hayabusa, not exactly first pick material. There's so many other heroes that you might want to go for. And yeah, I think Terizla is a solid first one. No, what?
They steal it.
It's that high of a priority.
Yeah,
you know what? A good friend of ours, Ray Ash, belated happy birthday, by the way, foresaw that the Zask and the Jushin are some of the biggest heroes right now in the metagame. The ZZ.
Yeah, we are in this era of Zask is first pickable in the metagame. Against Vega, how are they going to respond to that? You can go ahead and steal away the strong assassins right now, but now you can tell that they're thinking about, okay, we're used to playing with this. How do we now draft around it? They pick up a Harith to dash around within the area of the Dominator's Descent and Nightmaric spawn of Zask.
If a Zask is picked up this early, you kind of want to see what kind of assassin you want to get away with. Because picking the Hayabusa this early, bad idea. Picking up the Ling this early, bad idea. And all the more now that there's so much CC on the ground for Team Vitality. With that said, they put Vivian once more on the Tigreal, slowly starting to become a signature for her. And of course, Fumi, Liquid Echoes, Terizla.
For Vitality here, this adjustment is fantastic because now you know that there's no room for the carry. There's no room for an alpha. Those chunky boys in the Tigreal and the Terizla will take a lot of time to get taken down by Falcons Vega. So now they're going to have to show up some picks here that can maybe poke them out just a little bit, and there you go. But that's 3 sources of magic damage. They're going to go for the full damage. They're leaning into that idea as a team that loves the early to mid-game power spike.
Yeah, you talked about poking them a little bit. How about a lot of it?
Yeah.
Just over and over again. You could time out even the ult on the Zask and then just keep going. There's very little that can really stop Funi here. Now going into the bans, still no jungler for Falcons, Vega, or Vitality. So now, if anything, Falcons Vega have the tempo swing. They control what comes through because they got first pick anyways. And again, you don't want to put the assassin onto Falcons Vega too, so they can make better calls. Where is this Brody ban coming from?
We haven't even seen a Brody the entire tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a single ban nor pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, is there something that Falcons Vega knows that we do not? I mean, in terms of the reach, yeah. Thinking about it, a Brody was slotting really well for Vitality in the sense that, okay, the Terizla, the Tig, and the Zaz together might be able to create enough space, but a part of me is thinking that even with a Brody there, it's like, he still has to avoid the Lilia, still has to avoid the Harith.
Might you not
Edith.
go for the Ixia first?
Yeah. Looking at the side of Vitality, if you slot an Ixia there this time now, it's like, it looks good. Can work out well for them.
But also, check it out, Vitality
Carmilla.
banning relatively out of left field too.
Okay. It seems like with the bans that we're seeing right now, it's forcing us to think more about how this is going to go into the team fighting. I don't see a lot of macro here. I see a lot of team fights.
Yep.
And that Carmilla, I feel like up against that lineup with Vitality, if you all get caught in the Cursed Blood, the Lilia, Edith, and Harith damage all together is actually going to be quite painful.
And it's not just the Cursed Blood, you can actually flip it around. Zaman Force first, if they run out, welcome him into the Cursed Blood, and then into the Glooms.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways, and it looks like we're really hunkering down on Marksman. That's another Falcons Vega ban. Taking out the Moskov.
It's a different style here. Oh, now it's an Assassin ban. Huh, a Fanny into the lineup of Falcons Vega.
They would rather the Haya or Ling.
Yeah.
Even the Nalan's still there.
Well, with so many tanky presences on the side of Vitality, actually, just thinking about an Assassin pickup here, yeah, it'll have to be something that opens up the map. But I'm thinking if this is already an Edith roam or if it will be swung into the EXP.
I think there's a lot more EXP out there left. So this might be a roam.
Okay, I agree with you.
That's what I'm feeling.
I see that. Oh, and also I realize like the Edith will happily take a few of the hits from the Nightmaric spawn because it allows her to build a Primal Wrath.
Yep, and then she'll, there's the Arlo. Doesn't say much still.
Yeah.
You can swing it both ways. Vitality, though, forced to finish up their lineup here, the final phase for them, and still no jungler.
Oh, we're still waiting.
In my opinion, I think they can afford a jungler that's an assassin.
Yeah.
Between these two right now, it's them.
More for Vitality, yeah?
Yeah.
I
Even
see
if it
that.
sucks to run in against an Arlo and Edith, but, you know.
The Julian is still going to be open, but is this a Lunox mid or I think it's a Lunox? It could be Lunox Gold. We're not completely turning off that idea.
Shell, what are you thinking?
What if also Lunox Jungle?
Shell, whoa. Last time we saw that, it was from Kodak in Malaysia. That's no.
That's the jungle right there.
That's the Bane.
Oh no,
That's
but
the Bane.
it could be gold. It could be gold though.
Even that is a switcheroo, but in this case, I would rather the Lunox Gold Bane jungle. I love it. Look at that, it's a trampoline funhouse, and there's so much potential for all sorts of damage.
Right, off-kilter lineup.
Talked about it being a team fighting, just scramble. Look at this.
It's all team fight. This is just... Okay, going into it though, in terms of team fighting, it might be tough for Falcons Vega to fight into everything. When Bane throws out the Sharks, remember we talked about this with Lunox before, you don't know where the damage is coming from. Double that with the Zask, Falcons Vega are going to need to rush Radiant Armors here.
And here's another...
Is that Hanzo?
That is Hanzo!
Let's go.
All right, well, Vitality needs a lot of farm. That's one thing. They need to put a good amount of money on Zask, on Lunox, and on Bane. What a better way than to deny all that with a Hanzo.
Two of the best women's teams in the world, showcasing the creativity and the uniqueness of the meta of our scene. Vitality with one, Falcons with one. Whoever wins this goes into match point and a step closer to being crowned the undeniable queens of MLBB. Let's go into the game. Casters, guys, are you hyped up about this?
I can't even express this one right here. Shout out to Leo on the Bane, and shout out to Assassin Dave for the Hanzo.
Absolutely.
Right here, we got a new headliner on the card right now. Jungle versus Jungler. I don't think anyone expected this one, but the Hanzo goes back with the ladies. Man, I remember tuning into MWI a year or so ago and seeing the Hanzo picks pop up. So this is nothing new to these girls, to these teams. How do you feel about the matchups, though?
Oh man, yeah, definitely nothing new, especially to Vivol, because Vivol was the one that actually utilized the Hanzo a whole lot in the past tournament. So very interesting to see that Team Falcons Vega are the ones picking up the Hanzo up against Vitality. And I think I already said this off broadcast though, that it's really good. Vitality don't really have a lot of dive towards the Shadow, right? There's no Benedetta, there's no assassin like Ling that can really jump towards her. And melee, usually the biggest problem with the Hanzo is either someone can dive or someone can invade very early on. And I think they have both of those covered with Funi on the Lilia. Amazing mid-prio. And yeah, I don't know. You mentioned Bane. I don't see Bane. That's just Leo. That's just Leo in the jungle.
Yeah, that's definitely just Leo. It's literally Leo versus Mr. Mao right now on the head of the card. And as you said, I think last picking that Hanzo was actually super clutch because you have the Bane. Vitality brings this big Ube-esque, like, we just want to steamroll onto you, stick together, have Shell in the middle, have Cine in the middle. But there's no way to answer the Hanzo here. And one of the problems we saw with the composition that Team Vitality, well, one of the problems that could be for Team, a little bit of damage from Meilane.
Good shove back onto Meilane. Vivol should be able to survive this, but you can see that damage already. That's the Hanzo for you. Chell. Also, this is a pick, Lunox Gold. It just, just brings me back to MSC 2021 when it was Harith and Lunox constantly in the gold lane. That was the matchup that we were used to seeing, and now we get to see it again. It's also Bane in the jungle, so technically it also, we did see this at M3, I believe it was Wise also utilizing the Bane in the jungle a lot of the time, so very, very interesting stuff. Obviously for the Hanzo, you're going to be clearing out, you have a lot of damage, but neutral objective control, it's still Vivol who holds it. Implosion downtown, still able to get, Flicker's out too, out of the final slash from Violet too. They're going to be caught from the Echo, forced to run away. It's a Vengeance all the way, Melee. Oh no, a bit too aggressive under the turret, now gets punished by Vivol. A missed mechanic.
Wasn't watching the meter.
Yeah.
Just came flying in right under the tower. Maybe thought she was going to be able to get the kill there. Not quite able to do it. Let's look at that replay. It's all good from here. It's all good from here for Vega. And I see Meilane come flying in, and I'm like, all right, maybe she's... No. But all right, it's 1 for 1. Jungler does go down there. So now it's 1-1. The only problem is the jungler on the side of Team Falcons Vega goes down, and all for the price of just a roamer. That's a good trade for Team Vitality, especially when you're going up against a Hanzo.
And, oh man, that setup was just so clean for Falcons Vega, right? The combos were all there. Tal was actually able to pop the Earth Shatter right before she got caught in the implosion. So she canceled the implosion, flickered out of the penalty zone, used the Primal Rat, and then Violent came in with the final slash. That was perfect for Falcons Vega, but unfortunately, one thing had to go wrong, and it was very unfortunate that it had to be the jungler, because yeah, like you mentioned, it just became not value at all, with Meilane getting picked off for the roam, especially considering, technically for Vitality, they're okay if they just stay equal in the early to mid game, because they are a scaling comp. They have the Lunox that can scale. I would even say Bane scales, because have you seen late game damage Bane?
Late game Bane in general.
Yeah, Crab Claw Cannon hurts half your HP. Depends on what build you go for, obviously. But I think she's going to go for like the half hybrid build, which is the build that can, get half of your HP with one Crab Claw Cannon.
And he even gets a little bit of sustainability. He can hang out. He can take a couple shots to the face, get the passive off. I mean, it's definitely going to be a problem when we creep into the late game. I think Team Falcons Vega can't take that small mess up to heart. They still need to push the aggression.
Joe already using the Chaos though. Now good zoning from Chinny. He'll be used Dominus Descent, stunning Violet, Retribution battles, gonna be Vivol wins it, deadly catch onto the back, knocking them up as well. Dominus is still there. Now the final slash used up, but Funi is low. Fumi, doesn't get the final shot. Chin Chao still in the bottom lane, just looking for a trade, and she is able to get all of that turret shield down below. Team Vitality traded with a turtle and a kill.
Vivian timed the push so perfectly. The moment Meilane came out of skill and was actually able to be hit, Vivian was just waiting for it, and times it perfectly. Pushes Meilane to where you see no retribution, you see no ability to take this. Secures Vival, not only that, but it's able to get enough damage to kill the Shadow, and that's that.
Deadly catch. Vivol gonna be taken down. Good assassination from Meilane. The big strength of the Hanzo in the jungle. When you dive in and no one's there to help you, it's goodbye, even if you are Bane. Oh, she's going damage. Hunter Strike.
And I think, I mean, that's on the Bane. At least first item, it looks like she's going to keep on going with this. Next item, maybe, what do you just go like Malefic Roar next, or do you go Endless Battle? Where do you go next on the Bane, really?
I don't know, me personally, especially after seeing MP the King and MSC, I like to go War Axe Thunderbelt, you know, that kind of build. It's kind of cringe, that build, but it works.
You get a little bit of sustainability, especially since you're up, and especially up against something that's going to give you so much damage as melee in the early game, and we're already seeing the melee doesn't want to stop, even taking a death. And that's the good thing about the Hanzos. Even after taking death, you still aren't in too much risk when you keep using the Pinnacle Ninja, and you can just go out there, cause some damage, slow them down a little bit. Even if you don't get the kill, you slow them down a little bit. So just a lot of possibilities and variety with Team Falcon Vega draft. Down to the gold lane though. Shell up against Chinsha, level 8 versus level 8, nothing too major. The trades are coming a bit even, but when we look at the towers, Team Falcons Vega is winning out a little bit.
That's what I was talking about, by the way.
Half a health bar almost.
Craft Claw Cannon. What? It put Funny down to a quarter of her HP.
That's just one item.
That's just one item. We're talking about scaling. Yeah, no need for that. Now Mei Lane trying to go for the steal, doesn't get it. Vivol still so consistent on that retribution. 3 turtles to Team Vitality.
Well, I think the good thing about the Bane too is you get a bigger burst combination of damage with the retribution. Compared to Melee, it's more of a shred damage there for a second and timing the retri, so it's not as clean. I think Vivo will continue to have the advantage when it comes into terms of, whoa, big final slash.
Good final slash cancel out. Mattel still getting demolished by the Dominators Descent. Violet Vengeance in the Dominators Descent still there, chunking their HP bars. Whoa, Cindy goes to the back, that's Funny as well. Able to pop in the Black Shoes now in 1v1 against Cindy. Send the Johnny Boys down as they've been in the bottom lane. Does seem like they were able to get rid of Violet. Now it's just a win for Team Vitality. Chinchaw was able to get a turret up top. That was the only trade that they got.
Okay. I was a man of little faith when it came to the Zask, but boy, am I becoming a believer at this point. Malefic Roar does get locked in for Vival as a second item. Gonna help at least maybe deal with Thal a little bit, but just add even more damage, and depending on who else, we have the Thunderbelt, on who else wants to build this defensively, it's gonna just help shred through. And I think the Hunter Strike's a great first item as well. You get the speed boost, you get a little bit more movement on a hero that doesn't have any dashes. So in the end, it works out well for Team Vitality. And at this point in the game, they're hitting a nice power spike. They're gonna have control of the map. And Team Falcons Vega, what's the answer here? I mean, I don't see the Hans all the time. We have the early game aggression. Does it fall off like a lot of other assassins? Like, where do we go from here with Melee?
Good question. No, the Hanzo does scale really well into the later stage of the game. The only problem is, even if she uses Pinnacle Ninja, I feel, especially considering Vivol's building damage too, you jump in, you're dead. I mean, you still get to survive, obviously, because your real body isn't there. Yeah. But if you're just stunned out of the team fight and you don't have Pinnacle Ninja,
you might as well be dead.
Some solid frames, yeah, for Vitality to capitalize on. It's really about Melee coming in at the very end. You can't play the normal Hanzo playstyle where you want to go in, you know, look for damage and then go back. You really need to just wait and be the assassin from the Echo to the bush.
And it completely changes the way you want to approach lords and things too, right? Because you only have a certain time frame that you can really, you can't hold it. You have to really be able to count on the rest of the team, and the rest of your team has to know, okay, this is when we're going. We got about 10 seconds, and we need to make it count. So it's either that, we rely completely on Melee, or we kind of wait out for Chinsha here to start to scale. Luckily, Chinsha's taking no deaths, but Shell also taking no deaths, and Shell's going to start shredding down Violet. Shell's going to start shredding down Thal. We're already seeing the damage from Vivol. If the game continues at this pace, Team Vitalities should be able to stay in control.
I think so. Again, right? They are very happy to just be even against Falcons Vega at this time. But the fact that they are 3,000 gold ahead puts them in such a good position, because at this point, they can hold the Lord. They can play the Lord dance, but they don't even need to. It's Team Falcons Vega that needs to look for a play. Even then, they can get poked. Cindy here, getting poked in the mid lane. That's what Melee can do. Oh, an assassination in the mid lane. Melee finding the play. Cindy popped the Dominator's head a bit too late. Vivian now is going to be coming on the final slash, bringing her back. Pops an implosion in time. No shove just yet. Vivol in the midst of it all with the deadly catch as well. Violet able to find a little bit there. Tal That's an Earth-Shatter kill in the midst of it all. Jumping in, gets deleted by Chincha. Vivian gonna be next on the chopping block as Melee dives in deep onto Vivo. But she's still able to survive. Back to the Pinnacle Ninja that she placed down 3-4-2.
Watch for Fumi Echo, though. Doesn't want to let him have this Lord for free. Vivol still on the map, finally got Endless Battle in, and this is where the damage is really going to start taking off. This is where those passive procs are going to proc along with the Endless Battle, and it's not just going to be the crap cannon that you have to worry about. So I like the way it's going here. And again, the big problem with having this Hanzo is you can't really rush Lord, right? When you already use your Pinnacle Ninja, you can't just stand there in front of Lord and basic attack it. You know, there's not a whole lot you can do. You need your team with you. So Teams Falcons Vega, we're pretty much back to ground zero here.
Vitality are on the Lord. Just bursting it down with Shell in the chaos now. Vivol picks it up with a Retribution. Pinnacle Ninja used up with a detonator. Implosion from Vivian in the back as the jump gets them as well. So much time bought. Final slash on the Shell. Still with the Brilliance. Still able to escape. Fumi Echo against 3 members will finally be dealt with. 2 for 0. As Lord gets taken by Vitality. Violet is hovering over. She doesn't have the final slash, so it is all but over to fight Melee. Doesn't want it to be over. Jumps in again. Shell able to dash away from the Synchro Vision. Vivian gonna be choked down, but she is able to get the shove, forcing Melee to jump back to the Pinnacle Ninja.
Okay, so Team Falcons Vega, they get the 2 kills. They try to push in onto the mid tower, but again, you have Vivol, you have Vivian. Vivol alone is gonna have some good wave clear. At this point though, Team Falcons Vega are finally gonna get something out of that win. As long as they can shred down this Lord, it's definitely a win for them in that last Lord pit. Taking a look at the items, Vivol looking like we're going straight to BOD, straight to BOD. So Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, Endless Battle, BOD. We're talking straight damage. As Nice would say, big damn. Now, on the side of Team Falcons Vega, I want to take a look at Chincha. We got that Magic Crystal in. We got the Feather of Heaven, Starlium Scythe. We're starting to see Chincha really start to output a bit. Definitely ahead of Shell right now. Tower does not drop, so Team Falcons Vega lose essentially nothing out of that Lord.
Yeah. This is why, by the way, for Team Vitality, this is a very risky composition to play because technically, yeah, you do have control over the neutral objectives, but in terms of structures, it's going to be really hard to start sieging down without a marksman. Damage dealt, though. Again, team fighting-wise, they're good. They're really good. Look at that Bane.
Yeah, but Hanzo's sitting right behind, just waiting, you know? And as you said, Hanzo's just continuing to scale, and Hanzo, there's no answer to Hanzo.
No.
Zero answer to Hanzo. The only answer is kill everybody and then get to Hanzo. Or Fumi Echo needs to kind of sit a little bit farther away from these fights, find angles, and maybe get to the back line with a big penalty zone. You know, but she also one of them needs to be the so who do you send for the Hunter? Do you send somebody for the Hunter? Do you know? There's got to be some way to play around this. They need to find some answer because I don't know if just meeting them head on is the correct way to approach it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of ways now that you're mentioning it, right? At this point, how do you get to the Hanzo? Especially considering, look at how far Melee is from the team. She's just in the base, constantly using the Pinnacle Ninja, jumping back to the normal body. Fumi Echo, penalty zone implosion. Oh, she missed it! Violet able to flicker out of it. Shell with the Brilliance now on the Tau, still has a Primal Wrath, decides to pop it in. The Dominator's descent was baited out too. These are some big resources. Wow, Violet!
Big resources, 15 seconds before the Lord comes in. Melee's already got Pinnacle Ninja ready to go. Chincha still has them on force. Funi and Thal are the only ones that use their ultimates, and that's not a big loss. And Funi's already got Black Shoes back. At this point, Team Falcons Vega could go for the Lord Rush here, but Team Vitality never seemed to feel shaken even after those mess-ups. They're still hanging out down here. They're still like, nah, we'll fight for this. We'll push this. Is it the right play, though?
Final splash on the Fumi Echo, still able to survive right now. Jumps in with the penalty zone right now. Vivian goes in. Vivol is able to delete Chinchao. Sun back into the normal body now. No Pinnacle Ninja for a bit. But she finds it back again. She can go for it. Cine is waiting in the bush right now. Pops into the Dominator's descent once again. And it's into the implosion, into the shove, and the chaos too. They find it this time. And Vivol is on a killing spree.
BDB. Big Damage Bane.
BDB.
BDB. And we just saw Chincha lose about 90% of a health bar with about one shot and then finished off with the final one. Completely destroyed. Chincha now is going to have to second think about how she jumps into these fights. And now we're starting to see some of the downfalls of Melee, right? If if Meilane can't be there, if Thal goes down and Thal gets shredded, then there's nothing to protect Chincha, right? There's nothing to protect Fumi at this point. So Team Falcons Vega also have to think about how they want to approach these fights, because now the damage scales are starting to heavily favor into Team Vitality.
It's going to be very scary as we enter the base here. For Falcons Vega, they can still go for the defense, obviously. Oh, that damage on the Vivo.
Whoa.
Might be able to find it. Deadly catch this engage. But that's a lot of HP burnt out of Vivo, as they still have a Lord to play with. Falcons Vega, good clear. They have a Lilia. They have a Harith. Pilot try to go for the final slash, unable to get it. A big resource spent. Lord up top, enhanced, charging down. Tal. That's good damage. Descent zoned him away from the turret as the Lord just chunks through the turret there. Meilane again on the Vivo, but he buys immortality just in time. Lord on the base, able to split Falcons Vega. Final slash again, connecting down to two members. Fumi Echo still in the midst of it all with Vivian there. Good shove, and the penalty zone locks them down to the back with, again, the Dominators. The set just doing so much damage. Vivian loses the immortality. Meilane looking for the damage down again. Sky Piercer taking immortality. Vivo pops into deadly catch. Now Cine gonna be chased down. Meilane very low. Still going for the chase, still has the Pinnacle Ninja, but has to decide to play it slow. They've lost 2 base turrets.
Okay, so they're able to defend a bit there. For a second, it looked very dangerous. Let's take a look at the replay. This is where we see that the Pinnacle Ninja is just unable to do anything. A beautiful descent, even early on, to get the first tower, and then back again to get the second. Watch Chincha here. Drops him on force, but is instantly just taken out. Meilane saves the day here, finding Shell, finding some of the damage. Chincha, I mean, the damage is just too much. Harith cannot hang out. And I don't think she can risk like building defensively at all, right? Finally gets the winner crown, but when it happens that fast, you don't even got time to click the button. You know, you have to preemptively click it because you never know when the crab cannon's gonna ricochet and hit you. So it's still just troublesome for Chincha right now.
It really is. It's a big problem. And I think at this point, it's not just a problem for Chincha. It's really a problem for even the frontliners, because the Endless Battle and the Malefic Roar and the Hunter Strike, there's a lot of, there's true damage in the Endless Battle. There's a lot of penetration in the Malefic Roar and the Hunter Strike. And the fact now that if you dive on towards them, they have a winner crown too. Yeah. They can pop in Deadly Catch and then freeze.
Winner crown, Fu.
Winner crown, Fu.
And that even helps, it's going to be helping against Meilane. We've already seen the answer to Meilane. If the Pinnacle Ninja comes in, maybe it's a penalty zone, or maybe it's a Deadly Catch or something like that. But just in case Vivo's really in danger, you win a crown, you have enough time to get at least one more Crab Claw cannon back, and boom, boom,
Indeed.
boom. Right in the kisser.
Right. That caught me off guard for sure. It almost caught me off, the Leo moment earlier in the analyst panel. I wonder what sounds Bane makes, Maybe we'll throw it over to Leo to do that. We've heard Kaka before. Yeah, maybe that, He's an octopus, right?
Yeah. Well, he's like, what's his name? From Pirates.
Yes. Jonathan, that's his name, yeah. Let's talk about this Lord, though. 18 minutes in, that's an evolved Lord. It's a big boy. Team Falcons Vega. At this point, how do they even set up for this? Because really, they can't hold on to it. They really just have to retaliate. They have to wait for Vitality to make the proactive move.
Mailane's going to be working on the purple buff. I mean, Team Falcons Vega are taking their time, but we already know Team Vitality can rush a Lord down if they want to. The last Lord got taken down in a matter of seconds. So if Team Vitality knows that Meilane is far away and knows Chincha is not in the game, I would not put it past Vitality at all to just jump onto this. But they do know the damage is a possibility. So I like the positioning from Cine and Vivian. Not rushing. They have they're behind in gold right now, actually. So this could be due to why they're kind of taking this slow. At this point, one mistake from either one could spell doom. Let's take a look at these items real fast. Look at Fumi Echo with a huge gold lead over Violet, but we're getting into danger zone. I mean, we're getting into a tied up zone where it's going to be about 62k gold. Everyone's maxed out on items, and then it just comes down to pure gameplay, to what comp outdoes the other. We talked about the late game possibilities of Vivo. Does this mean the game is pretty much in the bag for Team Vitality? Because I still feel like Team Falcons Vegas have a lot of answers. They just need to watch out for some of those crab claw cannons, essentially.
Yeah. I think it's still very, very gray. It's still very 50-50, but the advantage is definitely on Team Vitality. They got 2 base turrets.
Yeah,
they can play the long
just that
game.
alone.
Exactly. So macro advantage, yes. Team fight advantage, at this point, I don't even know. It really comes down to the execution. Because Falcons Vega have a pretty good late game too with the Hanzo.
Yeah.
As long as Meilane comes in very last moment, right? She can't be the one, or together with the team, she can't be the one engaging. Oh, Seal, good onward, catching Vivian! Immortality gonna be popped right now as the damage descent is right in the midst of it all. People gets rid of the Pinnacle Ninja. They're still Tal able to use the Primal Raptors. When Echo jumps forward, Chell onto the Brilliant she goes. Cine able to flicker back away. Good penalty zone. Tal gonna be taken down there. Even Violet falling to the chaos damage of Chell.
Man, I really like Team Falcons Vega approach in the beginning. They should have just got their one pick off and backed off because Maylin was able to keep Vivol away. And it's like almost like, okay, this is the plan. We keep Vivol away out of the fight, we get our kill, and we back off. But then they stay a bit too long. But wait a second.
Pinnacle Ninjas on the tower! Dead in the back, finding the flank! Fooni's next to the chopping block, pops into Brilliance. Fooni gonna be chased down. The damage is real. Flicker forward, Tell finds a double.
Somebody had to flank the back line. We were wondering who it was gonna be. Well, Shell showed up. There was no hiding today for Maylin, and now it's nothing but chin shot. This could be the end.
Penalty zone into the Purify. Fumi Echo losing the immortality. Vivol still there, trying to go for the crab claw cannon. Chincha, oh my goodness!
God.
Gets deleted from the map. Match point for Vitality.
Holy smokes. Team Vitality seems to have the answers right now. The Bane, man. I know Leo's a happy boy right now. He's playing tap dance over there in the analytical studio right now. Let him know because, I mean, just overall, insane. Team Vitality feels good. It's 2-1 now, and we definitely have us a best of 5 overall, Mirko.
Man, what a performance there. Really surprised with these picks. We're going to throw it over to the analysts. Redmar, Bane, what's up?
Did you just call me Bane, or are you just asking me what's up about the Bane?
I think he was referring to me.
Oh, he's referring to you.
I'm the king of the... I am happy that the Bane did get a dub, but it was a much closer fight than we thought, despite it being a very scrappy match overall, a lot of team fighting, that the Bane and the lineup of Team Vitality just overall should excel in. Falcons Vega really made this match take its toll on the defending champions. What was that, 20-something, 21? 22 minutes?
Yeah, roughly around the 20-minute mark, a little bit over than that. They had to bring each other to the limit. Unique drafts for both sides. The gold lane Lunox, the jungle Bane. On the side for Vitality, or Falcons Vega rather, you see the Hanzo get shown up. So these are two lineups that have the potential to come up from dishonest angles, surprise angles as we would like to call them here in MLBB, where it's not the typical front to back, it's more of expect one or two to come off from a weird angle, changing the dynamic of a team fight. But one thing was sure though, in that game number 2, it was Vival. Vival was one of the surest things for that game number 2.
Well, there is a saying, when Bane's inside your base, that's insane.
It is.
And just save for these objective fights, again, the Turtle, the Lord, and even turrets, those are the main strengths of a Bane. But the way that they drafted, the way that they were able to create multiple boxes, again, we talked about the Zask on Chinny, that's where she is, and where the little spawn is.
Yeah.
Fumi Echo, where she eventually jumps in to get the penalty zone. Vivian, of course, anywhere she has an implosion. Those are already 3 activatable zones that the Bane can call its base and then shoot a deadly catch from that angle. I wish there was more that I could break down and show you guys visually, but there is a play later on that I will break down that just shows how it's less about Team Vitality's creativity or Team Vitality's angles, but more of their pick-offs. Weirdly enough, in a team fighting comp, what their major wins are not wherein they wipe out, but wherein they pick off 1 or 2 and then just deny anything close to a comeback from Falcons Vega.
Let's see who the MVP of that game number 3 is. We're heading into match point, and the crucial player there was Vival, as we mentioned.
Shiver me timbers!
The Bane. Would you like to expound? I know you're so happy that Bane is shining.
Yeah, all right. I can talk about anything from the items to the emblems, the way she rotated, and her weaknesses. Again, this is not a perfect game by any means, right? She died a couple of times.
Oh, for sure.
Juggled around the winner crown, juggled around the immortality, but the way she built it, using the Warcry specifically, she went for the Hunter Strike first, which is a very low-to-the-ground way of building the Bane. She went Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, Endless Battle, and then straight up greeted out with a Blade of Despair into that utility item aforementioned. This is that play right here that made a lot of what followed for Team Vitality possible. You have a Harith that has Purify that wants to make fights last under your zone of influence, under your circle or your box. But if you burst them down, if you put that little boy to take a nap, there's not much that your squad can do, even with melee on the Hanzo, which is another key thing that the Bane on Vival made impossible. Because yes, the Ghost. The Pinnacle Ninja. Yes, it's my best friend right here. All right, here you go, buddy.
Finally, someone taller. Finally, a hero that I'm taller than.
He's stout, though. He's stout. The Pinnacle Ninja, yes, when it comes through, it's chunkier than the Hanzo, believe it or not. It's chunkier than the Hanzo, but given the Warcry onto Vival's Bane, she's able to just chunk away, even through basic attacks. She doesn't need to wait for the Ale nor the Crab Claw Cannon to take down the Ghost. I think that was one of the key things that made her die just once, maybe. Remember those moments where the Ghost and everyone was chasing Vival?
Yeah.
The fact that she could basic attack that Ghost and stay like a tenth of her health, but not die. She didn't die. Made the difference.
Because of the presence of Bane's ability kit, with the ability that we call the Crab Claw Cannon, that when you toss the cannon onto someone and there's an opponent behind your initial target, it will bounce back. The ricochet causes a lot of damage. When you toss out what's called the deadly catch, those sharks causes a lot of damage and it zones out. As to why you can actually, if your Team Vitality just brute force team fights up against Vega, throw everything you have, and eventually that Pinnacle Ninja is going to go down, and it's going to be difficult for Falcons Vega. Vega needed to take like 1 or 2 steps, while Team Vitality just threw away the stairs and just went ahead with it. Let's go ahead now with the play that Leo wants to break down here. What you got for me, man?
Okay, so this is a fight wherein, in all honesty, the brutal truth is Falcons Vega actually set up very well. You'll see here that they have control of the river bush. The river bush is a massive objective when it comes to not just Lord takes or team fights, but just in general. If you're able to control that part of the map right here, see that Violet's right there? She can set up an amazing final slash, which she did, and it led to a retreat by Fumi Echo, compromising her penalty zone. But then again, check this out. She comes back, and it forces out. It happens so fast, ladies and gentlemen. Let me roll it back. Okay, don't blink. Look at Chincha. She still has her Purify. Right there.
She's airborne.
Rather, right there. And she is airborne, yes. But she's gonna keep going. Check this out. Whoop.
Bang.
See, my finger can't even click fast enough. And this was before Vival bought the Blade of Despair. So you can purify, but when the answer is all in damage, it's over. And what does it lead to? Single. Again, a lot of the wins from Vitality were not all in white. Pickoffs after pickoffs. And eventually, look, there wasn't enough damage for them. And look, they're gonna still try to re-engage because again, you still have a solid damage source in Mei lane here, and even Funi taking control of that river bush. Again, they're holding it, and the answer. Once again, they were still holding on to Vivian's implosion, and Shell even had the shift. Shell can even go Chaos Order, and Vival is just clearly relying on her basics because again, this is a War Cry Bane, and it not only converted into a pickoff on Chincha, it also converted into a kill on Violet and Tal, and of course, a Lord take. Clean and brutal. Very scalpel accurate, but just the same. It's like a katana.
I like the sound effect that you did right there.
Thanks.
Accurate.
I've been working on that.
How long?
2 minutes.
Great. Shock and awe, I feel like, is what's filled with the lineup of Team Vitality in that game number 3. Whereas the lineup of Falcons Vega felt more disaster response. And we saw that. And the times where they would try to shock and awe, again, that's where we saw they have to layer a few things before you get the full effect.
Which luckily they have a lot of tools to do. Again, the final slash from Violet.
Yeah.
You have the panic button of the Primal Wrath. Which again does well since you do stack up on hits from the very hyperactive and aggro lineup from Team Vitality. And as well, I think what was dangerous is what they were relying on damage in the absence of melee were all pure magic, which is why I think Fumi Echo rushed the Radiant Armor, which allowed for them to, you know, hold on just a little bit longer.
All right, now as we're heading into this ever so crucial game number 4, let's get a quick water shot here because I'm going to go on over to Leo's side. I want to talk more a little bit about Falcons Vega.
Okay.
I want to talk about who do you think here now needs to be the focus? Because it seems like it's been a little bit sometimes melee, sometimes whoever. Who do you think now that Team Falcons Vega needs to play around to really maximize the potential of them forcing a game number 5?
All right. This might surprise you, but the answer is Chincho!
Chincho?
It's gotta be Chincho. It's always been
Okay.
Chincho. Ever since groups, playoffs, remember? Damn you, Chincho!
Oh, yeah.
If they can find a way to set the map up for her to do that, which I think they can, Game 2 looked very good for Falcons Vega. Here, her on the Harith, maybe they may have forgotten how fast one could be bursted down, how the Harith is still a little soft baby boy,
Yeah.
that even if you do have a Purify, look, what Vitality drafted, this is worse than an Assassin. Harith can deal with an Assassin, could not deal with Zask, Bane, and Lunok. So
Yeah.
if they can do that, like protect Chincha, starting from the draft, then we're cooking.
Yeah, and it adds to the point that Chincha seems to be that type of player that even though this draft it does not go well for her pick, she was able to get a good enough stat line on that Harith. So now I agree with you. Team Falcons Vega will have to reconsider their drafting priorities here and think about picking up something or drafting a lineup that will allow Chincha to just free hit from the backline or maybe get that late entry that she is so good at. So, for Team
Moskov.
Falcons Vega, Moskov. Yeah, I like that you immediately said Moskov. But it also goes to building your row, mid, and jungle really well so that Chincha, if ever the team fight goes in, she doesn't go into the fray right away. Either she'll go into the fray as a cleanup, like a Roger type of jungler, gold laner.
That's right.
Or just a gold laner that won't even see any boxes of their opponents because you're in a safe distance.
Yeah, but that's the Moskov, right? You are far away, maybe working on a turret elsewhere or hiding in a bush somewhere, throwing out the SOD, and then you essentially just bypass the box, bypass the zone, and draw straight lines towards A to B, taking down your opponents.
That is the prize that they're fighting for. Glory, the trophy, MWI 2024. This is still only the semifinals. But if Vitality wins this now, we're going to see the Queens of MLB be able to defend their title. But Falcons Vega still has a chance to force game number 5. Vitality goes back onto the red side as Falcons Vega decides to go blue. Vitality takes away the Zask, respecting Funi in the mid.
Zask is, I'd hate to say it, an easier hero to make a living nightmare than Jushin. I think they now share a fair amount of wins, given their sample size. But
Yeah.
when you think about Zask, he's annoying as is.
Yeah.
Jushin, when she's annoying, partly that's because there's really not much you can do. The extremes are just you know, higher for Jushin.
I totally get you. It's like if Jushin gets picked up because it was picked and built to be annoying, while the Zask, no matter who you pair it up with,
right.
is just straight up annoying. So, Falcons Vega, let's see what they'll take out of the red side. Will they consider the Valentina ban, stuff like that? Vitality still hasn't taken away the Minotaur, so finally we might be able to see it in play.
Oh, we're gonna see at least a Minotaur or a Valentina now.
Yeah, because there can only be one. Valentina gets taken out. This looks like a very obvious Minotaur first pick, but Roger is still available.
Minotaur! Minotaur!
Minotaur, are we going to get it?
If not, what else? What could be more important than a Minotaur?
Because again, Minotaur, a great hero for responding against or blocking out the potential heroes that have a lot of dashes, a la Roger. So now, if the Minotaur gets picked up here by Falcons Vega, Vitality... Oh, no, not that one bounce house. Okay, there's a pick that Coach Midnight of Cloud9 mentioned earlier, very first pickable. They pick up Terizla, and now they're respecting Fumi Echo. We're finally going to see Fumi of Vitality in a different hero in the XP lane.
Again, that's the known element if Fumieko's gonna do anything, it's turn fights around. And how do you do that? You do it with a hero like Terizla, you do it with a hero like Edith, you do it with a hero like Arlot. And because of that, I don't think Vitality's going to budge. I think the fact that the Minotaur and the Tigreal are still open might not. Oh, never mind. If it's open, it's open.
There you go, Mino. So
The mother tanks gets the. Oh, look at that.
Edith, if I'm not
That's a front
mistaken,
line. That's a front line.
yeah, that's a front line right there. If I'm not mistaken, the highest win rate right now. Oh, not exactly.
It's Minotaur.
It's Minotaur with 17% in MWI.
With a ridiculous sample size, too.
Yeah, so it's two of the highest win rate heroes right now. Power picks for Vitality. But now we're going to be seeing Jushin on the side of Falcons Vega.
So far, the first two picks for Team Vitality are good Jushin picks. Like, she will throw away the onward combo. She will, disincentivize a jump from a Minotaur force out of flicker.
Yep.
So this is good.
Oh, Carmilla
This was a
and
ban
Jushin
earlier.
together. Yeah, this was banned out by Vitality. Interesting combination. So, Vitality would go for I wouldn't say it's the obvious response, but it makes a lot of sense.
It's a response.
Yeah, as the members of Falcons Vega would like to fight around a small certain area. Low Yi would be great in terms of the magic. So their magic damage is covered already for Vitality. They'll either need stronger sources of physical or maybe one source of true damage.
Yep.
Something that is good for longer sustained team fights, because longer sustained team fights is what Falcons Vegas, Carmilla, and Jushin are great at.
So yeah, you don't want the Harith here. Moskov? Do you still want the Moskov? You're thinking you ban the Moskov? Because I think Vitality would be okay with a carry.
Yeah.
And they don't have to steal, they don't have to ban the carry because their first pick on the swing back.
Yeah. Well, let's see if there will be any changes in priorities for the gold lane. Here's a quick little fun fact for everyone tuning in right now. Vitality and Falcons Vega, their entire history, they've played 83 games against each other.
Over the past 3 years.
Over the past 3 years, maybe even a little bit longer. Vitality, well, before that, Falcons Vega has won 11 of those 83. Vitality has won 72. This is why it's such a massive mountain to climb for Falcons Vega. If they force a game number 5, it will be a massive deal.
What is that, an 85% win rate, give or take?
Give or take, yes.
All right, look at this. Team Vitality had it with Maylane's Hanzo. Get out of here.
If they're drafting Hanzo, I'm leaning more towards the idea that Vitality might actually be picking up a carry.
Exactly. That's what they're setting up.
Or
They're taking care of all of the Shinobi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they've taken away the two...
The two of the 3 ninjas.
Hanabi is one of the ninjas.
Correct.
Is Kagura considered a ninja?
No, she's a shrine maiden.
Ah, I see. Interesting lore, by the way, between Hayabusa and Kagura.
Good story.
The Gboard, Falcons Vega. So we're going to be seeing maybe both sides having gold laners that aren't the most mobile or will need a bit of time to get mobility. So I'm thinking the heroes that you mentioned earlier, Carry, Moscow, but no. They're going to go for...
It's a last-minute flex. You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That could go jungle. That doesn't necessarily have to be the gold laner here.
Now Falcons, they have to pick up their gold laner and their jungler.
I wonder if Vitality has it in them. Do they have a history of playing double fighters? Double fighter side lanes.
Ooh.
Set up for
What do you
sort
think?
of like hyper carry
Rubes?
jungle.
Rubes?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a Ruby in the gold.
Do they want the Harith? Oh, they can pick up the Harith. I like the Harith here.
I don't like it against.
You're just gonna struggle in the early against the Roger, but we don't even know where the Roger's going. I think that's what Falcons Vega here is thinking about.
Okay, Nolan from A lane. I'd rather Moscow for carry. There it is.
Okay.
It's the Moscow for them.
This is what we talked about earlier. Put it on Chincha. Have her draw that straight line. Now, the veil comes off. What does Vitality put in the gold lane? Is it this Roger or is it something else? And then you give Vival the Roger, call it a day.
Well, thinking about it, in lane Roger, see, it's Shell's pick that they're trying to go for. So I think they're trying to decide, really, is this Roger going to stay in the gold lane as we're thinking, or will he get flexed into the jungle? Vival already has her hero, and we're just waiting for Chell's matchup. Is it the priority? Lane matchup or overall rounding up of the composition?
I still have a Harith open. It's Harith or carry.
And
Or
there it is.
neither. Here comes the Brody. Prior banned.
It was banned out earlier. And Vitality will go for the fast end. With Brody in the field, there's a chance this may end at around 15 minutes and quicker. Falcons Vega, what's their condition?
Falcons Vega needs to get past that. They need to get enough farm on Chincha and maybe win from mid. I think that's one of the few ways they can do that, actually. Win from mid with Funi on the Jushin.
Match point for the Queens of MLBB. They win this and they will be able to defend their crown. But Falcons Vega have a lineup that maybe, if they buy enough time or find the right time, can force a game number 5. Mirko, Trex, how y'all feeling about the draft for this game number 4?
We're feeling great about it. I mean, both teams continue to push the boundaries of ML here. I think we had some good trades along the whole draft, Mirko. Vitality comes out on top in possibly the gold lane there. But Falcons Vega secure pretty solid mid. They get the juice in, they get this Noland. We saw how well Chincha did do on the Moskov, so I think as long as Chincha can deal with this Brody, can deal with Shell, there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, I agree. I think for Team Falcons Vega, they really have to put some resources into the gold lane. Maybe not just some. They need to put a lot of resources into the gold lane. Because if they are both left alone, or especially if Team Vitality play around that strong side, that strong matchup with the Brody Moskov, and if Chell takes the lane slow, they might be able to shut Chinchao down in lane before all these fights start. Even the first turtle, they can do it, especially with the Loyi, that maneuverability. Luckily for them, they got Funi on the juice in, so you can see that happen a lot. You know, Fumi Echo just getting ragdolled back and forth by the Lantern Flare.
Yeah, it's definitely going to slow Team Vitality down, I think, a little bit in terms of rotation. Fumi Echo, who's someone who likes to really rotate to mid here and there, may have to stop here and there. Maybe not be able to get as involved early on, but here comes some of that pressure into the gold lane already. Vivian, though, getting the brunt of it.
He picked up, thrown back to the team. Into the passive there from Mei lane, unable to get it as Vivian is forced to flicker out, but still, massive resource going to slow down that level 4 power spike of Team Vitality as they control the mid lane, even zoning Cine away. You can see that, Lantern Flare, but you got to be careful. That's a lot of damage returned towards Funi.
Yeah, Lu Yi, you get those combos off, and the early game damage is actually insane. You forget sometimes how hard that Lu Yi hits just at level 3. Uh-oh, Vivo, though, looking for a possible play here.
Goes in with Lycan Pounce, and Funi isn't really able to get the stacks on to pick her up, but still, a lot of damage placed down, even despite that level 4 delay that Falcons Vega did. Violet now got that level 4. It's still Vivo on the turtle. Mei lane on a Tal now walking up, gonna go for the stun as well. Vivo, whoa! With a great steal, dodging away from the stun too with the Lycan Pounce. Now gonna be picked up, thrown back, is able to go to the human form now as Fumi Echo jumps into the back line with the onward. That's a Minus Fury caught in Vivo, still getting a bit of sustain, but Violet will be able to pick up the first blood. Fumi Echo in a 2v1 again with the Primal Wrap, but the Spear of Vengeance connects, and Chincha will be able to participate all the way from the gold lane to the bottom side.
And so Chincha continues to make plays across the map. Last time I saw her on this Moskov, I felt like it was a good hero for her. Even with the bad matchup, she can find ways to be important in this game. Team Vitality splits them up so well here. They do lose Vval there, and it ends up not exactly working out in their favor, but you're already seeing some of the possibilities from their composition. They get the turtle in that, so at least they don't completely lose out. Looking at the gold, Team Falcons Vega, it's only about 500 right now.
You can see the reactions as well earlier from the coach and analyst there. You want to know a fun fact? The coach's name, Susugaja, that means elephant milk if you translate it to English.
Have you ever had elephant's milk?
No.
It's not bad.
Maybe that'll be a good question to ask him, you know, in an interview later on. Susugaja.
Susu Gaga.
No. Yeah.
Suchu?
Susu.
Susu?
Gaja.
Susu Gaja.
There you go.
It's a good name. It's a good name. Uh-oh. Fumi.
Very interesting. Gets the Mei lane almost getting the fracture down. That was close.
I like the ideas. Team Falcons Vegas always seems to come with a plan looking for these little pickoffs. If they can get it to pull off, it's definitely going to give them a nice early game lead. Still only holding about 500 gold. Taking a look at some of these emblems, Maylane is going to be able to get this lethal ignition, get a little burn to maybe secure some of these early game kills if things don't go, if she's not able to completely burst them down. On the side of Team Vitality, Cindy as well, lethal ignition, Shell, gonna have a little bit more speed. Evil. I'm wondering exactly how this next turtle's gonna go. Team Vitality was able to steal it very smoothly. Vivo, with no one behind her, was able to pull in. Does Team Falcons Vega want to try to zone her away this time?
We'll see. It seems for Vivian this time around. Oh, they'll all actually make it. With a diversion, Cindy gets spotted in. So Funi probably knows something is up, and yeah. Good read there by Funi. Seeing Cindy, knowing other members are there. Seems like for Vitality, they're still going for the contest. Earth Shadow Flicker combo into the Minus Fury. Mainly still able to dodge away from it. But Vivop gets a lot of space. Penalty zone, not connecting on anyone right now. So Miyako pops in Puddle Wrath. That's a double vacuum into Vivop, trying to run them down, but it's unable to do so. Chell with a good stun now. Torn apart memory, ready for the Purify. Gets the stacks out of there. Only getting Violet in the skirmish. Well played to both teams, but it's a win for Vitality.
Yeah, huge win for Vitality. I was thinking Team Falcons Vega might try to do the zoning, but in the end, Team Vitality pushes back Maylane. Look at the replay real quick. Maylane's already been pushed back. They did a great job on it. Chincha tries to come in. Boom. Not really able to do too much, but then the torn apart memories help seal the deal there. Shell still picks up the kill, even though not getting it with the ultimate, not getting it with the torn apart memories, but still gets a kill into the pocket, and that's going to put Shell in a great trajectory for the rest of this game.
Upside though. Ooh, Chell? There's gonna be a diversion from Vitality. Chell has enough HP to survive. And again, Vitality turn it around. Oh, pure vengeance.
You do it.
Onto the back. It's a very risky move. If you do it, you're gonna have to trade Chell for yourself. And Chell says, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna take that. That's just a bit of poke.
Just a little bit of poke. So now both gold laners sitting with a kill in the pocket. Team Falcons Vega, man. Last time it was the EXP lane in the top side, and they tried to make a big gank, and it backfires on them. This time, once again, they go for that topside gank, but they just can't pull through. Team Vitality always there to help out the teammate.
It almost seems like, Vitality in their name, it grants them additional HP, just like the emblem, because they are able to survive a lot of these ganks that shouldn't really be survivable. That's a roadie, no Purify, easy CC.
It's a name buff.
It's a name buff.
Name buff, org buff, whatever you want to call it. Team Vitality sticking through now. Shell went for Sky Piercer, went for Blade of Hepatis, already has both, already got a little stack there. We haven't really gotten to see too many item builds coming from a Brody with all the new items because we haven't seen Brody that often, so I'm excited to see how Shell continues with this build.
Slowly but surely, Vitality just controlling the map with the Lo Yi. And this is the reason, by the way, we were talking about the Lo Yi pick, why Falcons Vega are always kind of forced to ban or pick it up themselves. It's because this is Cindy's comfort, man. The fact that now she has it in her hands, she can make so many creative plays happen. And it's not a juicing. You can't, pick people up, but you can teleport people. So that's, yeah, I don't know. You take it. Is it better to pick people up or to teleport people?
Teleport people. In my personal opinion, I'm a big fan of the Yi, but Funi, I mean, I think, don't get me wrong, the Jushin's great, but she's having a little trouble with all these bulky boys in the way.
Good retribution again from Vivo. Minus Fury into the knockup. Now Violet all alone. Spear of Vengeance not connecting just barely. Miyako still surviving. Flickers out to safety. Team Vitality with a Vitality buff. They just can't seem to die.
And yesterday I was saying to Team Vitality, min-max queens, man. They always get the most out of the situation, and letting their health bars get so low, they're so good at disengaging. Here comes another diversion play, looking for the mid lane.
Oh, the sack's on. Good Purify out. Vivo with a chase down like and pounce. One more pick up the stun. Following her, but she's just too quick.
I thought she was going to go for it, man. Wait a second, Mei lane?
Wow. All that damage. Still, they're unable to get Cindy. Good motivation roar. Chinchao gets a turret down below. I mean, at least for Falcons Vega, they're still able to find these trades on the other side of the map.
So 2.7k gold lead over to Team Vitality. Chincha trying to pick up some pieces, which I think is important. And we see Teams Falcons Vega do this when they start to fall out during the mid game. They'll go for the off lanes. They'll play the map a little bit, which does kind of help staunch the bleeding, right? It puts the tourniquet on the arm, helps them not from completely bleeding out here. But Team Vitality doesn't want to let up. I mean, purple buff down, and now this is going to be the pressure they're going to continue. Having Vivian, having Fumieko on these bulky frontliners, they're going to be able to do this as much as they want. Taking a look at the items. Once again, Vivol goes for this build, the Wind Talker into the Sky Piercer. Next up's going to be the War Axe, and it just works out, and it's not something we see all the time. It's a little bit late on the sustainability, but the way that Team Vitality plays so aggressively, they always have two nice frontliners. She doesn't exactly need the sustainability brought from the War Axe or anything. She's able to do the damage, get stacks in early. Luckily, she took the death, I'm pretty sure, before she got her kill. Same thing with Shell, 3 kills now on the Sky Piercer, so starting to stack up a bit. War Axe finally locked in for Vivol. So this is just, it's going to start getting out of control here soon if Team Falcons Vega can't do something about it.
Shell going to be caught in the Curse of Blood, still able to flicker out through Purify as well as Vivian's going to be knocked up. Throwing it back at him, Spear Mystery to the back, gets stunned up, Purified there. Chincha versus 2, gets caught in the torn apart memory by Chell from the Echo in the midst of it all with the Primal Rat flickers out. And it becomes a win again for Vitality.
Chincha tried to be her. She tried to be her.
She is her.
But she was not her today. Shell gets the outplay, tried to get the 1v2, and it could have been it. But it just felt like everyone was a little bit late to the blood pack. Melee wasn't there. Yes, they got a nice set on the 2 members. But the damage wasn't there to get that burst down on everybody. Team Falcons Vega falls short. Lord goes over the side of Team Vitality. Watch it. Beautiful ult. But nobody's there to output the damage. Chincha shows up a little bit late. Tries to get the big outplay, gets stunned up by the second skill, and that was the problem you were talking about. The second skill from Brody just completely stops anything that Chincha wants to do.
Even with the Purify, doesn't really matter, does it? You can see the frustrated look on Chincha. They're fighting for their tournament lives at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Single elimination in the semifinals. This is the final match to really, force it out to a Game 5. Vitality are leading. They want to eliminate Team Falcons Vega. If there's a time to make a miracle comeback happen, if there's a time for them to fly high, it's now. Team Falcons Vega, what do they do?
I don't know. I mean, the problem is, too, is Shell's just really hitting stride, right? You're 4-0 on a Brody. Brody's not like the best. I mean, a decent early game, but mid-game's really when Brody starts to shine, especially when you're 4-0 with a Sky Piercer. I mean, it's going to make those torn apart, because Sky Piercer with torn apart memories, you're going to really secure those last hits. The more I think about it, because it's not a hero we've been thinking about much, but the more I think about it, Sky Piercer is just perfect for it, man, because you're looking, get everyone's health bars low, and then just reap the benefits.
And just look at the turret damage. This is one of the strengths. Oh, good piercing damage coming down from Chincha over to the minions towards Chell. But if Chell gets around to the turrets, she's going to be able to melt these turrets like it's nothing. That's the power of the Brody, and now I believe that was a Melfic roar picked up by the Brody, by Chell.
Something to point out here, though, damage dealt still all in the hands of Team Falcons Vega. Violent and Funi holding the lead, but it just goes to show that, yes, they've been doing an insane amount of damage, but there's the min-maxing from Team Vitality. They're so good at taking their health bars down to about 10% and still getting out of these fights safely. A little bit of a skirmish, though.
Torn apart memory going to be used up, and the execute from downtown Chell with the fadeaway Sky Piercer.
That's 5-0-1 now. Another stack in the pocket. Shell's balling right now with the Sky Piercer. And I love the way they're slow playing some of these buffs too. They're hoping that Team Falcons Vega comes out to the jungle. They're gonna try to push it onto this tower now.
Look at that siege. Look at the damage onto the turret. It's not even there.
Nope.
The Brody just demolishing these turrets. We call him the turret eater. Nom, nom, nom.
Nom, nom, nom. That base is a glass house right now, and Team Vitality are throwing rocks at it. It's crumbling under the pressure of Shell. Funi just trying to clear lanes at this point. Lord's going to be up in 22 seconds, and it's looking like there's less and less possibilities. Chincha does finally lock in Wind of Nature. Maybe that can be the answer for that big Hail Mary play that they're looking for, but Shell, that's like 2 items in 2 minutes, it felt like almost. I mean, time's moving a little bit faster for me, but still, Shell, man, This is going to be rough. Immortality does come in for Thal as well. Those fourth items at this point are starting to lock in for members. That might have just been a third item for Thal, possibly. But this is going to give him a little more sustainability. Earlier, I did see Melee as well, I think, lock in a Malefic Roar for a little bit more penetration. At that point, I mean, they might have even been able to do it, man. They could have just showed up on top of all of them. But Lord now getting bursted down quick.
Thal needs to find a big play. Needs to find a Curse of Blood.
Fudi?
Missed.
With a beacon there for me, Echo. With the Earth Shatter on the onward. What the heck was that damage? How? Gonna be executed even after flickering out. Violet is next to the chopping block. Kel's just too much of a beast in game number 4.
They're just feeding them at this point. They got the spoon out doing the airplane. Here's Thal, here's Violet. Team Vitality, it's exactly what they want. They want you to get this engaged one at a time, and Team Falcon Vega don't have the damage to even get close to Shell. Shell just sits in between all the girls and is able to get free shots off, completely max items out at this point. 11.3K. Chinshaw just trying to get that last item in, maybe to be able to do something.
Again, Turret Eater just nomming through these base turrets. That's another one down. And it's before the Enhanced Lord Fudi knocked up by the Earth Shatter. Vitality is at a moment for Falcons. Vega elimination point from Yeko. Earth Shatter in all alone. Primal Rat now. That's again the execution coming down. It's a good Curse of Blood into the back line, doing a lot of damage. Venus Fury going to be used up by Vivian, and this engages Vivol. Does enough damage. Shell again, trying to find memory. Finding 2 members in the back. Chell looking for more damage. Shinja going to be caught again in the double vacuum. Chell just munching on the base. 1, 2, 3, and Vitality take it again.
The Queens continue their reign of supremacy. Team Vitality, they don't care what you think. They don't care if it looked like they had a rough group stage or it looked like they had a rough